What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teach Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teach Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank y'all for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I'm your host, Anton Daniels. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Algorithm Daniels is in the building. What's happening? Was the time wrong? Did I set up the time wrong? Y'all know what it is, though. Y'all know what it is. What up, Tabby, Tree, Slow So Way? Is that Unij, Jason 18, Jesse in the building, Vito Royale, my girl, OG Rihanna, Dame Lee, Eric, what up though? Mr. 43, Sabrina, I see you. AJ Wise, let me see. Eric OG, K Cooper, what's happening? AR is back. Will Nola, Keisha, what up, Keisha? Phoenix, what's up, Phoenix? I see you. Crown, D Don, King Size says, I knew you was gonna be at the back. More knowledge. What's happening, all of my friends? I see y'all in the building. What's happening? I see y'all. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What's the deal? AD, have a blessed one. What it do? How we feeling? Yep. I thought you went to the other side of the world. What up? What up? I was on the other side of the world. I'm gonna be on the other side of the world tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. Next week on Monday. So, if what's up to my girl Kimmy? I see you, Kimmy. Me and Kimmy had a long conversation when I was over in Manchester. That's my girl. That's my girl. That's baby girl right there. What's up, friends? Now, if the time just so happened to be wrong, if it happened to be PM instead of AM, y'all know what it is. Y'all didn't been here long enough to be able to capture it. I will tell you, though, that being back in the studio, AD, you inspired me to want to visit London. Go to Manchester, England first, Keisha. Go to Manchester, England first. And I think that you are going to have a much. I haven't visited London, so I can't tell you. But go to Manchester. Manchester is dope. It's a very, you know what Manchester reminds me of, Keisha? Manchester reminds me of the 2000s, the late 90s and the 2000s. It's like stepping back in time for how people operate and how people move. You know, they got the modern cars and they got the historic architecture, but they still build the new stuff. And then the people kind of got the mindset to the way that they dress, to the way that they party, all of that stuff. It's kind of remind me of like the 2000s, to be honest with you. Remind me of the 2000s. It's crazy. Manchester, it was awesome. I'm telling you, I wouldn't mind spending the summer there. Can't spend a winter there. It's too cold in the winter. Said Pistons is going home. Okay, so let me address this whole Pistons thing. All right. I haven't visited London, so I don't have anything to compare it to. But let me address this whole Pistons thing because, of course, listen, y'all can't wait. Y'all can't wait until I come on here and I see it in the chat before I even start the live stream. I've never been more interested in deleting a comment prior to starting the live stream until I jump on and I see y'all talking about my Pistons. When I wake up in the morning, I'll be thinking to myself, oh, I gotta hear it. I gotta hear it about my Pistons. But let me approach it from a completely different perspective. All right. Number one, before we get started with the show. All right. Number one, we're a young team. Number two, I think that we're gonna figure it out. I support my team. So I didn't panic. After halftime, I just cut the game off because I said I can't watch it anymore. I'm too emotional. And so I cut the game off. And but I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine. It's a 7-game series. You got to win 4. And so I don't write off my gas. I'm rolling with my gas. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody on the Pistons. I'm not going to say no names in particular, but shout out to some of my friends on the Pistons. I'm rolling with my gas. All right. But let me approach this from a business perspective. So this morning, I was talking to, because I had to make some runs and stuff. So I was out early and about this morning taking care of business, even to the point to where I didn't think I would be able to laugh. I said, nah, I got a live stream. No more misses. We can't have no more misses during the week. All right. We didn't have too many misses already, and we got two makeup shows. So there has to be several different weeks where we got to do Saturday shows. I don't know about this weekend, but it's going to be some Saturday. We're going to have some 6-day weeks coming up. All right. But I'm out and about taking care of business, and I run into, because, I do business with some of the people that is on the floor, right? And so I'm talking to some of my friends on the floor, and let me tell you how it goes. So this is the way that it goes. Season tickets is separate from playoffs, okay? Whatever you buy from a season ticket holder, and I'm speaking as a floor seat person, all right? Y'all see me and what I pay for floor seats. I'm very transparent in what I spend for my stuff. I pay about 100. Well, it went up. Last year I paid 105,000. This year I pay $110,000 for my seats, right? When the Pistons was making a run, and they always pitch it early because they got a really great marketing department, and they want you to renew, right? So hey, listen, this team is doing well. See, I told all of the season ticket holders, this is what your account representatives are going to tell you. I told y'all, they doing well. We got the number 1 seed. We going into the playoffs. This is what the playoff packages is going to be. So before you get to the playoff packages, Anton, you got to renew. And so they pitching all of the season ticket holders. A lot of us have each other's phone numbers that sit on the floor and stuff like that, unless you're a corporate. Most of the seats on the floor is corporate, but you still know some of the people that owns the companies that ultimately purchase the tickets. I'm one of the rare ones, and that my company purchases the tickets also, but I love basketball. So it's a little different. You got the StockX seats, you got this seat, you got that seat, you got the Rocket Mortgage seats, you got the MGM suites up there. And so you got access to different things. The Motor City suite is up there, all of that, right? And so I'm talking to some of the business owners that have floor seats like me. And so we're having a conversation. And the way that they do it is you got the regular season tickets, right? In which you got to pay for that. And so that's $100+ a year. And then you have the playoff tickets, right? Now, here's the thing that incentivizes you to purchase playoff tickets. It's escalating depending on the round. So let's say, for example, whatever the cost is, 20,000, 30, whatever, 25,000 for the first round for your seats, right? And people don't mind, okay, I'm going to put in an additional this amount, and the next Next round it's a much higher, and then the next round is much higher, and they just automatically charge you all at one time, right? So, but they charge you per round when the round comes. But people don't mind paying the extra money because they also know that maybe some games I won't go to and I could sell my tickets, and the playoff tickets go for way more than the regular season tickets. So you come out ahead, or you can start to balance it, but you get the first right of refusal for your seat. So my seats, I pay whatever it is that I pay for my season tickets. And then they come with a separate package, or account representative come with the second package and say, all right, listen, playoffs is coming. You rolling, right? Now, I said no. I said no. Why did you say no, Anton? Because I'm not even here to do the playoffs. I was in Manchester all last week, so I missed all last week. I'm going to be in Brazil all next week. So if the Pistons were to still be in the playoff all next week, I'm going to be in Brazil. And then I got some other stuff planned. So it wouldn't make sense for me because I wouldn't be going to the games. But I still considered it because I was thinking to myself, well, the week that I am here, maybe I'll be able to catch a playoff game or two. And then I may be able to sell my tickets to the other games. Anyways, I opted not to do the playoffs, but I still renewed for next year, right? I'm talking to the guys today, at our business meeting, and they say, Anton, we pissed. I said, why y'all pissed? Because we was talking about the Pistons or whatever. We was talking about the game in Orlando. I said, y'all pissed about them losing? They said, nah, we not pissed about them losing. We not tripping off of that. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. We rocking with our guys or whatever. They said we pissed at the Pistons, at the team. The team. Keisha, I just did a vlog, then I dropped it in the Patreon in Manchester. I shot in Manchester. It's a video in Manchester. So I only do vlogs and I only do videos separately, like out of live streams or out of reactions and stuff like that. All of that stuff is on the Patreon from now on. So you'll never see another vlog on a regular channel ever again. So they're like, no, we pissed. I said, why? They said, we can't sell our tickets. Now, I just so happen to dodge a bullet, but they said we can't sell our tickets. I said, why y'all couldn't sell y'all? I said, you mean you can't sell your next tickets to the next game, or you couldn't sell your tickets at all in the playoffs? And they said, no, we couldn't sell it at all in the playoffs. I said, why you couldn't sell it at all in the playoffs? Because rows 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3 are all on the floor. So it's VIP D, VIP F, VIP C, VIP A. But you're usually able to list your junk on Ticketmaster and you're able to sell your tickets. And I said, well, why couldn't y'all sell y'all tickets? They said, well, the owner and the StockX guys, the guys that own the StockX seats that sit next to me, he said last year they flew to New York during the playoffs. And I said, okay. I said, and what happened? They said they got kicked out. I said, why did they get kicked out? They said because they learned that they was Pistons fans. And so James Dolan over in New York has the right to refuse people from coming into the game that's sitting on the floor wearing Pistons gear or whatever. If you're supporting an opposite team during the playoffs, and I'm just learning this, right? So I'm sharing it with you guys. If you're supporting an opposite team during the playoffs over in New York, I haven't heard this anywhere else. This is the first time I ever heard of this. If you purchase tickets to a New York game, you sit in courtside, row 1, 2, and 3, and James Dolan, who is the owner of the Knicks, will remove you or have people removed that's actually wearing somebody else's gear. And they do that, I guess, because they all about New York. They all about Knicks. That's just the way that they roll over in New York. But it's a big market team. I said, really? That's crazy. He said, yeah. He said they tried to go to the Pistons game in the playoffs last year in New York, and they wouldn't let them sit at the court. Wouldn't let them do it because they only showing New York fans, New York people. That's how they roll. And so it got me to thinking, like, I wonder if they do that in LA. I wonder if they do that in other places. But neither here nor there. But here's the part that they got pissed at. They said, So they come back, and Detroit do the same thing. So they learned this foolishness over in New York, and then they came back and said, well, people that have courtside seats or season ticket holders that have their courtside seats for the playoffs won't be able to sell their tickets to anybody else that goes to the game. And I was, you know what, that kind of, it made sense because I went and I said, well, I'm a spot checking game and I'll probably go to a playoff game, but I'm not going to renew for the whole playoffs because I'm not going to pay all of that amount and I'm out of town and I'm in a whole nother country. So when I went to the Ticketmaster site, you couldn't buy any tickets that was on the floor because they wasn't listed. I couldn't believe it. I've never heard of that in my entire life. I've never heard of that in my entire life. So now the season ticket holders on the floor are pissed because this ain't New York. This is Detroit. We hustlers. And so they said, Anton, I'm thinking about giving my tickets to the biggest Magic fan that I can find just to spite this whole knot. They was pissed. They were pissed. They were pissed. They were angry. Now, I just so happened to get lucky because I opted out for the playoffs. They were pissed because they were even saying like, yo, I wish I hadn't renewed for next year, whatever, so on and so forth. Somebody said, how much are floor tickets? For what? For the playoffs or for the regular season? Are y'all talking about the playoffs or for the regular season? Regular season, I pay 110 a year. I think I pay because they price it out. I think they price it out for like 8 months. So basically, you paying about, I think I pay like 11,000 a month for the regular season, and then the playoffs. I don't know if I have that. I don't know if I have it on me or whatever. I would have to go back and look in my emails in order to find the packages. So I pay 11,000 a month for 8 months for my season tickets. So which add up to about $110,000 a year. It's crazy. It's out of control. So yeah, man. Yeah. Yep. I have floor seats for the Brooklyn Nets game. It was nice. I ate at them. Honestly, but I probably only go to about 10 games. Well, this year I think I went to maybe 12 games this year. I just didn't have the capacity. I didn't have the time. So I only went to about 11 games this year. 11, 12 games or something. The other one, because you get like 40 41 games, 42 games a year. And so the other ones, I give them to clients, I give them to people, I do all of that stuff, right? So, but the games I want to go to, I want to go to. So, let me look at it. Did they just charge me again? I'm sure they billed my stuff. Pistons, tickets, my Pistons account. Manage, sign in. I gotta sign in. Let me see. I think they billed me. I gotta get some control over this junk, bro, because I don't even be knowing what be coming out on my card no more. Invoice. Yep. That's how much they charge me. Yep, that's how much they charge me. So I owe for next year. Five Brown says turn on your transaction alerts every time your card is charged. You'll get an alert. Man, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. You know how much Leslie and Rita be swiping? I'm never doing that. Never. Man, I'm not about to be getting no bing, 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 bing. I'm not doing that every single time, man. They be swiping, swiper, no swiping. So I owe $77,000 for next year. Yeah, man. Yep, I owe $77,000 for next year. There you go. So, yeah, man, people are frustrated. People are frustrated. They're not happy about the whole situation. But that's the rules of the game, baby. And here's the other part. Once you commit, you can't opt out. So let's say, for example, I opted in for next year and I said, all right, cool. And they said, all right, we're about to start charging your card. Cool. All right, whatever. And let's say they charge it like that day. And then the next day, I say, you know what? I don't even want to do the games next year because I'm pissed off at something that happened when I went to the game last night. We can't do it. You can't do that. So you already in for next year. So you're just on the hook for $110,000 because you already signed the papers. They may work with you, but ain't nobody about to be dealing with all of that. Anyways, neither here nor there. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Housekeeping. So we got to get over to the Cash Apps and the Super Chat. So I'm going to read those shortly. After hours tonight, we got some stuff we going to talk about tonight. Mainly of which we got to get everybody's opinion on this whole Klay Thompson and Meg Thee Stallion conversation. So I don't plan on talking about that on the Millionaire Morning Show. We are going to talk about that tonight on After Hours. And we're going to get to it. We're going to get to it. Somebody said, cancel that car, my boy. What you talking about, boy? I just got, my guy just told me. He just sent me I'm going to pick up my car this week. I don't know what you talking about. Man. Smoking crack. Only reason I ain't picked it up yet is because I'm getting the tent done. They doing the tents and they doing the I think they're doing powder coating.
Hey, Anton. Here's kind of a tint gauge that we have. The 5% is limo dark. The 15% is very dark. The 35% is normally what you see on a car from the factory. So let me show you here. 35% is normally what you see on a car from the factory. So let me show you here. So you see in the...
What you mean, boy? I'm already ordering my next one. I'm smoking crack. I'm going to get my car this week. I'm just getting my custom work done. It's the only reason I ain't picked it up yet is because I want to make sure that they get everything done before I go and pick it up. So, but I told y'all I don't want to talk about that no more. I want to be low key. I want to be chilled. I want to drive what I want to drive, all of that type of stuff. I don't want to be doing I don't want to be doing too much. Anyways, let me read some of these super chats and we're going to go ahead and get it popping with the show. Chris Cunningham says, I'm not going to read it the way you typed it. Choking. I digress. All right, I'm done. Shout out to my Knicks, though. Oh, y'all in trouble, too. Hold on. Wait. Let me be clear. Let me be very clear. You can't. I'm thinking about it, Tavi. You can't say anything about my Pistons if you are from Houston, if you are from Portland, if you are from New York, if you are from Cleveland, if you are from Philly, if you're from Phoenix, any of these places. So if y'all like are from any of these cities who's also in trouble, and some of y'all already been eliminated, shout out to Phoenix. If you from Arizona, if you from any of those places, let's calm down. Let's calm down. And let's make sure that we remember where we from. All right? Let's remember where we from, because I know that y'all excited about Detroit doing whatever we still in it. We gonna be all right. We'll be all right. I'm rocking with my guys. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm thinking about taking some bets. I got the Pistons. I believe in my guys so much. That I think I'm willing. To take some bets. I'm a betting man. So name your terms. And then we're gonna go on. We're gonna go in from there. So you wasn't expecting that. Put your money up if you believe so fervently in Orlando. Coach Chris says, did you ever have time when you were grinding that you found you cut almost everyone off because your hustle demanded all of your attention? Nah, bro. I didn't cut people off like, hey, I'm about to cut you off. I was just busy. Chris, listen, bro. Men don't do what women do. Meaning, women intentionally say, I'm not messing with y'all no more. I'm not messing with you. That's God. You know why I don't look at it as cutting off? Because I have guys that I'm cool with that I probably haven't even spoken to in 2 years. And I can hit them up right now and be like, hey, bro, where you been at? You see what I'm saying? Like, guys, we don't need a lot of maintenance when it comes to our friendships. And so we could be like, I was down and I was down in it. I was locked in, bro. Man, I see you, bro, but you shining now, though. So guys don't cut people off. We just be busy. Women cut people off. Guys don't say nothing. They just be doing whatever it is that they do. That's the difference. So you got to stop with the cutting off thing. I don't know who bothering you in your life. I don't know who pissed you off. I don't know who you arguing with to where you feel like, yo, I gotta cut this person off. Just do it. Don't say nothing. Don't announce it. If you feel like you need to divest yourself from a group of people, just do it. And stop warning people, because then they're going to be like, that's nice. And then they're going to play you. Thank you, big homie. Your daily advice is slowly helping me rebuild my life and my perspective. Keep doing God's work and know that it helps a lot. I got you, big dog, but I got to give you that hard, you know what I'm saying? That hard love. TS Car Wash and Detail Services. I asked you about the Pistons yesterday. You was talking about we going to be okay. I asked you about Aries Spears situation. I bring the news to you early. I appreciate you, but we'll be all right. William Collins says, what's good, bro? Salute. Tough matchup for y'all. If y'all had a traditional center, y'all would have won. All right, well, I can't wait to start this sports channel. TS Car Wash and Detail Services. Thoughts on Shannon and the Beasley interview? I mean, it was entertaining. I watched portions of it. I like Michael Beasley. I think that he a victim. He run in the victim Olympics a lot, but that's just my opinion. You know what's so funny? There people reached out to me probably 2 or 3 years ago to do a Michael Beasley interview. TS Car Wash and Detail Services. 80 talk about disappointment of your team. Why? I'm not disappointed in my team. It's a 7-game series. TS Car Wash and Detail Service says get PPF on that car, big dog. It's a must. Facts. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm getting all of this stuff done. PPF, the rims done, the tent, everything. Everything is gonna get done this week, which is kind of aggravating because then I got to go to Brazil next week and I'm gonna want to drive my car. Voltaic Art said if you wrapping it one day, look up that matte gray aluminum, wrapped a couple cars with some gloss accents and acid green calipers. That sound crazy. TS Car Wash and Detail Services. No, AD, that whole no wait, because them places you named wasn't a number 1 seed like Detroit, big dog. We'll see. It's a 7-game series. All right, y'all. So where y'all want to start? I got a lot of different subjects that we can navigate through. We have to get to. All right, let me tell you what I got on the docket. Let me remove this. Pistons. I had to address the Pistons because I knew y'all wasn't gonna let me get away with this stream unless I talked about the Pistons. Oh, let me acknowledge the Cash Apps too. Give me a second. Shout out to shout out to my dog Mike that dude. I appreciate you, Mike that dude, for holding me down. Rand Wilson says thoughts on the Department of Justice bringing the firing squad back. I haven't read about it. Send it to me in an email and then we'll check it out. Mike that dude, I appreciate you. Spencer Campbell, I appreciate you. Thank you to everybody that's holding me down. I appreciate y'all. All right, so we got to tackle Vlad versus Aries Spears, a carjacker that got killed. Canadians want to recruit more Americans coming overseas. We didn't address the meta layoffs. I got to talk about meta layoffs. Mamdani versus billionaires in New York, Chinese EVs trying to infiltrate the U.S., universal basic income, and why is dating so expensive? So it's going to be a couple of these that I may not get to just to let y'all know ahead of time. So just letting y'all know, keeping y'all in the loop. Aries Spears fired back too, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Um,
in public. And I've learned over time, it's better to address it head on as opposed to letting someone else run with the narrative. I learned that from you, actually.
Well, I like how the fact that I think you're the only one properly monetizing the response. So, you know what I mean? But go ahead. What's going on with Aries Spears? I've seen the Boosie situation. I want to update on that as well. His interview is out.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the update on the latest in the Vlad TV financial office.
Okay, so with Aries Spears, we started doing interviews around 2016. And I thought Aries was extremely funny. He was witty. He had great impressions. And I just thought he was a talented dude. So we started doing interviews. And in the beginning, it was a little bit slow. And over time, it started to work out. The views went up. People got to know us. And the audience started to increase. Now, the thing about Aries, though, is that Aries would always have issues with things that are going on. So at one point,
business-wise or just culturally?
Business-wise.
Okay.
Business-wise. So a few years ago, Aries called me and he was like, yo, man, I can't get any acting gigs because of these clips of me talking about people. Now, it's my fault he can't get acting gigs. It's not because maybe he's not a great actor or maybe he hasn't done a major movie in 30 years since Jerry Maguire. It's my fault that he's not getting acting gigs. So I said, I'm not removing anything. You know, he wanted all the clips removed. I said, I'm not going to remove anything.
What year was this?
Oh, man, maybe about 4 years ago or so, something like that. And, you know, at one point, you know, he stopped talking to me, stopped working. Then at one point he came back and we started doing more work together.
Yo, this guy is wild, bro. This guy is wild, honestly. Honestly, I think that Vlad is absolutely wild. And if my homie calls me, right? If my homie called me, and this didn't happen before, if my homie called me and say, hey, man, X, Y, and Z, can you remove this or remove that? As a matter of fact, I'll go so far as to say, I have done reaction videos and people have called or people have emailed me and said, hey, I know that this was going to go viral, this and that, so on and so forth. Could you take that down or whatever? And if they ask, like if they reasonable, and if you ask me, absolutely, 100%, I got you. I'll go ahead and remove that because I ain't trying to get nobody jammed up. I ain't trying to remove nobody's money. And if I do business with you, let's say, for example, I book you for an interview and I actually pay you some money for an interview, right? Then we just gonna figure it out how to get the money on the back end. We gonna get our money back on the back end, or we'll do another interview, or we'll figure it out, or we'll work together. But if you doing, I've always believed in just doing, it's not just doing good business, because Vlad is not doing anything wrong. If you do an interview with somebody and they sign a release forms or whatever, Vlad is not doing anything wrong. But I think it's the difference between upholding your end as a businessman, because he's not like withholding payment from anybody. Nobody said that he didn't pay him or that he didn't do what he agreed to do. But the other side of it is, are you doing it as a good person? I'm going to address that in a minute, Lonnie Clark. We're going to get there. But I want to get the full story first. If I rock with you and you know what I'm saying, we got a decent relationship, you say, hey, man, I'm jammed up or my money is messed up or whatever, or I can't get no acting gigs or I can't get no bookings or whatever because of some stuff that I said, and you know what, could you take that down or whatever? Then, yeah, bro, I got you. Let me know if you need anything else. And not only am I going to do that, I'm going to also Hey, bro, if you need anything, let me know. I got a bridge for you. You need some, hit me up if you need anything. And that's what I believe that building relationships and networking does. Let me continue to hear the rest of this video.
My staff would always complain that Aries was disrespectful to them.
Really?
He would show up. At one point, he forgot his towel, right? You see his towel on his leg sometimes because, he sweats a lot because he's kind of overweight. And he forgot his towel. And he's like, yo, I need a towel. And
see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, bro? Why you got to say all of that? He's like a bitter baby mama. I told y'all years ago that this guy was exactly who he's showing himself to be right now. I told y'all. And the minute that you feel, that you cross him, or the minute that he disagrees with you, he gonna go ahead and he gonna do all of this female type stuff and start throwing all of these shots on the low about how it is that he feels about you. He gonna tell you what he really feels. And see, this is what females do, right? Guys, you know what? We fall out, we get back into the pocket with each other, we roll with each other, we brothers fight. That's what they do on a regular basis, right? But then he started throwing all of this other yeah, man, he's overweight, so he sweats a lot. It's like, what? Where all of this come from? As I told y'all, he not y'all friend, bro. I told y'all he not y'all friend. And now y'all want to act like, oh, man. And guess what? There will be no shortage of people going on the platform. There will be no shortage of people going on the platform. Let me pull up his platform. Vlad. Oh, this dude is dirty. Dog. He literally just dropped a video of Aries Spears, and it looked like it's probably a throwback video. Man, this guy is something else, bro. This guy is something else. This dude is dropping Aries Spears. Look. Right after he get done talking about you, he gonna throw it, and then he throw the flashbacks up. Look, he threw a flashback of Boosie after he said that he wasn't gonna work with Boosie no more because Boosie wanted so much money. Then he dropped a Boosie video, a flashback video of the man. Listen, bro, I told y'all, bro. I told y'all. But no, y'all wanted to keep on playing the game. Y'all wanted to go and, do whatever it is that you're doing. And so now look at what you got going on.
Here's some paper towels. Like, no, I need a cloth towel. So he made Leo go and run to the store and bring him back a cloth towel. At one point, Aries was complaining because he needed a makeup artist. I mean, literally the only person I've ever interviewed that needs a makeup artist every interview. Every interview, but I'm like, that's cool.
Wait, he needs a makeup artist every interview?
Every interview.
Oh.
Every interview. So there's a makeup artist, shout out to my girl Candace, who comes early to do his makeup, and then he does the show. And I'm like, that's fine, I'll cover the cost. It is what it is. So the show continues, we're doing our thing, and I like the back and forth that me and him have. And the thing about Aries is that he lives 10 minutes away from my LA studio. And unlike some of the my more successful comedians like a TK Kirkland or a D.L. Hughley, he's not on tour as much. He's available more often. So a lot of times when I shoot, he's available. I'll hit him up a couple of days before, a free Tuesday. Yeah, I'm free. And we do it. So
it's like
he's just on a lot.
Chick at 4 o'clock, always answers.
Yeah, it's convenient for me. It's convenient for him. It all works out. He's 10 minutes away. He shows up, he gets his makeup done, he gets to go out that night wearing makeup. Everyone wins.
All right, so let me ask 2 questions while I interject here.
Yeah.
Number 1, and this applies to Boosie and Aries Spears, as you talk about these fallouts. We've never heard about these fallouts. We just see you guys on camera. Are you guys friends?
No, it's really more of a business situation.
Okay.
With me and Aries. We're friendly with each other, but we never really get on the phone and we talk. Like, for example, like a Michael Jai White, that's my friend. We talk a lot. Willie D, that's my friend. We talk a lot. TK Kirkland, that's my man. We talk all the time. I go with him, to people like this, and we talk about our problems and issues and so forth. And, these are people I respect. But me and Aries are really just business. We show up, and that's that. Now, over time, his appearance fees were going up, right? Because the views were going up. And maybe about a year and a half ago, his videos, his clips started to go super viral on TikTok. There was these videos that me and him did together that they put these boing sounds behind, and like literally, I think hundreds of millions of views start happening on TikTok.
Yeah, it became a great little template right there. I think one of the ones is like where you said some extremely gay stuff.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
The whole gay thing became viral.
Had a good reaction. Yeah.
I've always been straight.
But watching gay porn doesn't make you want to do gay shit.
Right. But I've never watched gay porn. I've scrolled the thing. And no, look, I like to put myself out there like that and let them, kind of talk shit and everything because it creates good content. Yeah. Like, I don't really have an ego when it comes to this thing. And even all the issues he had, I'm like, fuck it, whatever. We can get over that. He needs to make.
Somebody in the chat said, see, they're not friends. Yo, y'all some weak people. Y'all are some weak people, honestly. Y'all are some weak people. Bro, with friends like y'all or with business partners like y'all, who need enemies? Who need enemies? Y'all are weak. The only person that you're supposed to go at, and I still think that it's a level that you just don't go beyond, is enemies. How you gonna do business with a person, get money with a person, and then try to expose everything about their life? That's not kosher. That ain't G. Who raised y'all? If you got money with a person, y'all connected with each other, whatever it is that y'all did, it don't matter if y'all friends and we hug each other and we talk on the phone every day, or if we was just getting money with each other. It's a certain level that you just don't stoop below. I thought that we understood that in the culture. So if y'all don't get it, then why y'all expect for him to move any differently if y'all don't even have no standards for yourselves? What kind of dudes is y'all? I'm telling you, man, the guys is the new women, and the women is more masculine. The guys is the new women, and the women is more masculine. Even when brothers fight, there's certain things you just don't say online. It's certain things you don't say online. And I'm going to just keep it at that. Y'all weird, man. Y'all are so, I feel like I'm in the wrong era. I'm in the wrong space. Y'all think it's cool to just be like, yeah, man, yeah, he wear makeup because it is, because he fat and all of this other. It's like, who does it? Nigga, wasn't y'all just getting money? Haven't y'all been working together for a decade? So y'all been working together for a decade. Even if somebody, let's say somebody throw me under the bus, right? That I've been working with. I still give you like 5 passes before I even address what you addressed. And even then, I'm going to just address what you addressed. A lot of times I'll be like, that's just. It's so weird. It is so weird, bro. I remember when y'all was coming to meet, man, Tasha K said this, Tasha K said that. And I'll just be like, yeah, that's what Tasha K do. Like, first of all, that's what she do. Secondly, she a woman. But because I got her phone number and but because I can deal with it, you know what y'all did? Y'all said it to me. And so I learned from it. I learned from other situations in the past. And I said, all right, cool. So then I just called her and reached out. Oh, okay. All right. So we talked about it. We figured it out. Okay, well, that makes sense. And then I kept it moving. I'm not going to come back. And I don't always got to go back at you if I got your phone number in real life. But everything is different now. Let me get back to this.
Artist, I'll get a makeup artist. He forgets his towel. Fine, we'll get him a towel. Whatever, right? So at that point, the views are going up. Now, keep in mind, I don't benefit from this. These are not my TikTok channels. These are other people's accounts.
Still promotion.
It's still promotion, but he's getting promoted more than me because here's the thing, right? And I swear to God on this. I swear that this is the absolute truth. Out of everyone that I've ever had on my show.
No, I don't mind.
Like in terms of
I don't mind people telling me what other people said about me. I'm going to tell you what my father told me. Life is 10% of what happens to you, 90% of how you react to it. I'm expecting for people to tell me that. But that don't mean that I have to move how they expect for me to move when they tell me. It's no problem with other people on the outside looking in that don't know that I have another person's phone number to come and tell me, hey, this is what was said. But once I find out the information, it's up to me to determine how I'm going to react to it. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes. I have seen Aries benefit the most because he went in the beginning from doing small comedy clubs to when our stuff started going viral and it started getting, big on TikTok and so forth, things just absolutely took off for him. He got his, and he talked about this on camera, the biggest show he's ever been paid for, Saudi Arabia. Was this the most money you ever made off a single show?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it more than twice you've ever made for a single show?
We're going to stop at the first question.
100 people. He did a show in Connecticut with 3,000 people. He did a show in LA at the Novo Theater that I went to support. That was like 1,400 people. He's doing the best he's ever done. And I was super, super happy for him.
Okay. And I think this is where there is probably, I noticed it in his clip. He says Vlad has an ego.
He's such a narcissist.
Dude, at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And I was also listening to Boosie as Boosie was speaking as well about you. Do you feel like maybe they are also looking at it in the reverse way to say they're pretty thankful for the platform, but you're taking too much credit for their success, right?
But
Boosie has 20 years in music. You have Aries Spears. I'm not too sure about his comedy career, but I'm pretty sure
he's
he's
like 40 years of comedy
exactly.
or something.
So
since he was going to be like a teenager or something. Yeah, like 30-something.
But then again, he might just be saying, hey, listen, when I'm having some success there, maybe some of it is tied to Vlad TV, but maybe you're overestimating it way too much.
Well, listen, I don't care if it's tied to me or not because I don't benefit from that. That's his thing. But Aries would always, I have text messages from him. Yo, bro, he did his first Europe tour recently. He's like, yo, I'm in Europe and people are running up to me, mobbing me, quoting me from our interviews. Yo, Vlad, yo, you're big overseas. Yo, like people are constantly quoting.
Vlad, let me tell you what I surmise from Vlad, because apparently this stems from Aries Spears seeing what Vlad said that he pays Boosie, and Aries saying that he wants to make more money now that he found out what what other people that was on the platform was making. Let me tell you what I surmise from this. Vlad has get back baby mama energy. That's number one. Number two, Vlad wants to be the main character so bad. He wanted to be the main character so bad. Is he good at what he does in order to build the platform? Absolutely. Is he successful and is he great at being early on the platform and monetizing and pioneering the interview space? Absolutely. But he's still got character flaws just like everybody else. He got character flaws like everybody else. But I'm not even going to hold Vlad accountable for this, right? His character flaws is showing because now he's the one that's speaking about what he thinks about somebody else in front of the camera. So that's what we're reacting to. Here's the real thing that we need to be talking about. Why y'all keep going on the platform? It's a whole bunch of platforms that y'all can go on, and people want to be famous by any means necessary. They will sell their soul to be on the very thing that they go against in order to justify. You can literally go on anything. You can reach out to real life street stars. You can reach out to Art of Dialogue. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to Ed. You can reach out to Joe Budden. You can reach out to you can reach out to Say Cheese. It's 1,000 different platforms, but you gotta go. And again, this is why I'm not holding Vlad accountable, because y'all fools keep on doing and then y'all will sit there talking about, you can go to Cam. You can probably try to get on. You can reach out to Shannon Sharp. You can do a lot of different things if you got motion, but people keep doing it. But then they'll complain about the very thing. That's why I don't have no respect for Tariq Nasheed. And I don't even speak on Tariq Nasheed. Tariq Nasheed been on my nuts for so long, looking for me to give him a little bit of visibility. I have no respect for Tariq Nasheed, because if you all the way FBA as you've created, then why are you sitting there going on Vlad's platform? It should be 100% support for people that are Black Americans that are descendants of slaves.
There who, talking shit about me doing this show, I get 5 digits every time I do an interview here. I get 5 digits while y'all sit at home and do nothing. Shoot. I get 5 digits.
It ain't like I'm on there for free. He pays me.
Correct.
He pays me a nice 5 figures.
Yeah.
So if my choice is either stay home on a Tuesday and do nothing and earn nothing, or go sit down for an hour and a half and walk away with 5 figures where I could not make anything, what am I gonna do?
No, I agree.
I'm gonna make the money and I get to check them.
And I let him run with this story, but that was a lie.
Oh, man.
He was not getting 5 digits.
It's typical hip hop. You got to say you got a color TV when everyone got black and white.
Exactly. He was making $4,000 an episode.
Okay.
Right. 4,000.
Still pretty good.
Where y'all just telling numbers? Oh man, they telling numbers. Y'all telling numbers. Yeah. Y'all let me know what y'all thoughts are. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Wild, bro. Wild. Eric Harris says 80 has faith size of a mustard seed when it comes to them Pistons and boys going home. Nah, they'll be all right. What's your wager? Tell me your number. AP says Aries was talking trash as well. That's why he responded to him.
Aries Spears from doing an interview on Vlad TV. Just like Boosie, Aries Spears wanted to raise and what he was currently getting from Vlad, which, by the way, he was getting 4 bands an interview. Vlad initially wasn't with it, but after checking the numbers, he told him, bro, let's have a conversation. I could give you something a little bit more. For some reason, according to him, this Aries' response back to Vlad.
It's your boy Aries Spears here. Listen, man, I said I wasn't going to address this because I didn't feel like I really needed to. But I'm going to address it because the warrior-like spirit in me that's an Aries, because that's my zodiac, is fighting it. But I'm going to try to be a gentleman about it as much as I can. Apparently, Vlad decided to do an interview where he's taking shots at me and throwing me under the bus. And let me just say for the record, Vlad, you are a coward, a narcissist, and a hypocrite. Because I didn't even really watch the whole video, because what turned me off immediately was he started out by saying, we're not friends. You said to me in my face on multiple occasions that we are friends. But now all of a sudden, because I asked you for a bump in pay and that pissed you off, We're not friends. So which is it? Tell the truth. And let me give y'all a little bit of backstory. So basically, I called Vlad and said, look, I feel like I want a little bit of bump.
I figured that was a story. See, we're not friends all of a sudden. We're just business associates, even though you call people that you've been rocking with for a long time your friend. That's why I like to hear it from both sides. But let me play the rest of it.
And pay because I know my value. You once had Lord Jamar, Godfrey, Tony Yayo, Boozy, and me, all of which many times people said were your best guests. Who's the only one left? Me. Godfrey left, Jamar left, Yayo left, and Boozy left. I'm the last one standing. And when people go, yo, I watched the show because of you. Yo, I subscribed to his channel. The moment your interview's over, I unsubscribe.
So listen, A Dunn says bump and pay, be grateful for what you're getting. That's because you're poor in your mindset. A poor mindset looks at it from that perspective. No, they don't have to be grateful. I can say this is what I want. You can say yep, yes, or no, no, right? The other side of it is that's just business. If you say no, then I'm gonna have to respect that. And either I could take what you're giving me or not. But stop telling me to be grateful. Either way, you keep what it is that y'all got as far as negotiating on the money side between you and them. The internet don't have to know all of the business. What are you talking about? Be grateful for what you get. And that means I can offer you whatever I want to offer you. And that's just the end of the conversation. And tell you, hey, be grateful because you could have got nothing from me. What kind of nonsense is that? We gentlemen. On the business side, you're supposed to have a conversation and go back and forth. There's been plenty of people that reached out to me and said, hey, yo, X, Y, and Z. And I said, you know what? Because I don't talk to them directly. I always have somebody else go, but I got some go-betweens. And I say, you know what? That just don't work for me right now. And it may not even be because of the money. It could be because of the schedule. It could be because I'm about to go out of the country. It could be because a lot of things. It could be because I just want to take my platform in that moment in a different direction. It could be because I'm redoing my studio. It could be because of anything. But my point is that stop telling people to be grateful. You get what you negotiate. And that's why a lot of y'all ain't getting no raises at your job. Because they can say no, but you just have to be willing to walk away. But either way, let's be a gentleman about it.
Value in that. So you're mad at me because I'm recognizing my worth? And I told you I wanted to be fair. I wasn't even saying pay me what you pay Boozy because I get it. From a numbers business standpoint, I get it. I'm just asking you to be a little bit fair. And now here's the thing. Again, you're a liar, you're a coward, and you're a hypocrite. Because what you do is you want to be seen so badly instead of just doing what you do best, which is stay behind the camera.
I said the same thing. I said the same thing. Dog. Man, listen. I said the same thing. I said the same thing. I said it. He want to be the main character. Even when Vlad is interviewing, he insert himself so much into the interview that if you go and look into the comments, a lot of people like, hey, man, why don't you let him talk? Hey, man, why you let him talk? Why don't you let him answer the question? Whatever. I said the same. He got main character syndrome, 100%.
2 times you asked to come to my shows. One, I forget where it was in LA. I think it was Oxnard or Brea or whatever. And then the other one at the Nova Theater. Both times I gave you free tickets. And you said to me both times, yo, shout me out. Shout me out. Why is that? Because it's so important for you to have the attention on yourself. And I didn't shout you out because I knew that. That was my moment. That was my time. When I'm on your show, it's both our times. So there's that. Then here's the other thing. You went and talked shit about my podcast partner, Andy Steinberg, who you befriended. Both times you came to my show. Now all of a sudden you talking shit about him? Make that make sense. And let's get another thing straight. 9 times out of 10, when you want to boost your numbers, who do you always go to? The Black community. So whether you are using us to help your platform, and I'll be real, we help each other. And I've said that. I've never disrespected you. I've never talked crazy about you. I just simply said I want my worth. But you use the black community when you need us, and you play the black card when you in some black dussy. And when I say dussy, I don't mean the word dussy. I mean a word that starts with P that rhymes with dussy. Because that's who you are, gadget. And when I say gadget, I'm not talking about the word gadget. I'm talking about a word that starts with F that rhymes with gadget. You understand what I'm saying?
But see, here's the problem with Aries Spears' argument. The problem with Aries Spears' argument is because you should have spotted these character flaws way before y'all ever fell out. And I think he knew who Vlad was way before. So Aries also has to take some responsibility, because you can't say, oh, you this, you that. Now he been that, whatever it is that he been that the entire time that you've been doing business with him, way before, when y'all was calling him Culture Vulture, when y'all was doing this, when y'all was doing all of that, he was the same thing. The same thing the whole time. You seen how he was doing business with other people. You seen how he was doing this. You seen how he was doing that. And you chose to be a part of the platform. So now you can't come back. You can't come back and say, yeah, you this and you that now. No, this is exactly who he was when you was rocking with him. So now you got to take some accountability, because you've been on there spilling the beans, giving opinions, talking talk, walking the walk, and now you want to sit there because the snake that you was putting your hand in there, you put your hand in there 37 times, and then he finally bit you. He finally bit you, and so now you like, see, you a snake, you got the venom, but you knew it was what it was when you was dealing with him. So that's why there's some truth in what he's saying, and that I may agree with some of these stuff, but at the same time, you just as culpable. You just as culpable. Man, you use us in order to run it up, and we use each other. Okay, well then you got commensurate pay, but what did you think was going to happen when it was over? You thought that y'all was going to walk away amicably? That's not how it worked. It's not how it worked. Now you getting the Marlon Wayans treatment. Now you getting the Marlon Wayans treatment. Boosie got the Marlon Wayans treatment. Because guess what? When Marlon Wayans was saying what he was saying, what did Vlad do? I'll just go get Boosie. I'll just go get Boosie. We're going to do 37 interviews, chop it up into 112 parts, and I'm going to just go get Boosie. I don't have to pay Marlon Wayans. I'll just go get 6ix9ine. So he treated you like a prostitute. He treated you like the hoes. That's what he did. Vlad is hoeing these dudes out. That's what's happening. And now y'all get mad when he said, listen, I got a new main chick, or I got a new side chick. I got somebody that's on the come up. Because it's hard out here for a pimp when you're trying to get some money for the rent. When the gas money spent. You know it's, you ain't no nigga. You ain't no nigga. You ain't know. See, you thought that you was a partner. You thought that y'all was friends. You ain't know, man. You ain't know, man. And then Vlad, what did Vlad do? Not only did he talk about you, he started putting out old Aries Spears interviews. You know it's hard. Push it out. Push that out. My girl Taraji, my new favorite female actor. I didn't know Taraji. I'm sorry. I need to put some respect on your name. She said, it was hard out here for a pimp when you try to get some money for the rent. When the gas money spent. That's what Vlad did. He pimped y'all.
Gadget Dussy, and I'll do you one better. I'll come on your show one more time for free. You ain't got to pay me shit. And we could talk about it right then and there, so we could get the truth. Because there's 3 sides to the truth: your story, my story, and the truth.
Why is he still offering to come on? Okay. All right, I'm done. I'm done, bro. In conclusion, what is the learned lesson that we get here? Because we always want to have a learned lesson. What do we take away from this whole situation, guys? Huh? What do we take away from this situation? We all know that crack is bad. We know that now they stomping on it with the fentanyl, right? For decades, we've known that the CIA helped push crack into the black community. We've seen movies on it. We've seen documentaries. We've seen Snowfall. We've seen American Gangster. We know the effects of it. But guess what? There's never going to be a shortage of crackheads. With all of the information that we have, with all of the insight that we have, there's going to be a new Aries. There's going to be a new Boosie. It's going to be a new you. Because nobody is going to stop buying crack. Nobody is going to stop doing. Nobody going to stop being a user. We can know what we know. And as long as you can give somebody some visibility and a little bit of like, couple likes, couple subscribers, they all going. They're all going. They going. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. And so you can't keep getting mad at the dealers if you're going to keep being a user. You know what I'm saying? So I can't put this all on Vlad. I'm sorry. I can't put it all on Vlad. I got to give some responsibility to the people that continue to do it. And I don't think it's anything wrong with Vlad doing what he does, because y'all know exactly what y'all getting into when y'all go on these platforms. And so it is what it is. Chris Cunningham says this all stems from the 6ix9ine interview, because the 6ix9ine interview did numbers. Marlon sitting back laughing like, I told y'all, Vlad is the real Pooh Shiesty. The interview with Aries is not old, it's current AD, but he ain't going to stop putting it out. The one with Boosie it's a flashback. Oh, bad Vlad been running up a bag on y'all for all this time. Shout out to Vlad, man. I can't even say nothing bad about him at this point. Y'all got self-inflicted wounds. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
Parking lot outside of Walgreens in Berry Hill erupted with gunfire this afternoon, leaving one man dead and another seriously injured. Our Sarah Allen was on the scene today and has the very latest on this investigation.
An attempted carjacking escalated into a fatal shooting in broad daylight in Berry Hill Saturday afternoon, leaving the attempted carjacker dead and his target seriously injured. A 44-year-old DoorDash driver parked outside of the Walgreens on 8th Avenue South to walk across the street to Chick-fil-A to pick up an order he was set to deliver. But when he got back to his car, another man approached him and at gunpoint attempted to force the delivery driver to hand over his car. But
a lot of people are not willing to hand over the keys as much as they used to be. When times was good and people was flush with cash and they had insurance on their car, they was willing to do it. Nowadays, they hesitate to give up the keys and they're willing to fight a little bit more. And I'm just keeping it 100 with you. Less people are willing to give in to the demands of criminals nowadays for whatever reason. Now, y'all could say it ain't worth your life. You could say, yo, you can always get another car. That's not how a lot of people see it. They carjacking people out here, and people are willing to stand their ground at this point. They not, and more people are strapped than ever before. So when you see this happen and you seeing a carjacker get killed, what are you basically seeing? People are more apt to risk it all because they feel like they already ain't got a whole lot left to lose. They already don't have a whole lot left to lose. So if you out here doing crime, be careful who you doing crime to, because everybody not passive. Everybody not just gonna call the police. Everybody not chilling anymore. People like, hey man, that's my stuff. Hey bro, that's all I got. Hey man, I'm gonna have to deal with it. Because guess what? The finance company don't care that you got carjacked. If you didn't have insurance on your car, you still got to pay for it. How do I know? Because it happened to me. Because I was being irresponsible way back in, like, what is it, 01, 02, 03 or something like that. And they carjacked me, and they took my car, and they took everything out of it, and they stripped it, and they burned it up. And guess what Ford Finance was like? It was like, hey, man, and let me holler at you for a second. I said, hey, but I got carjacked. It was like, I know, but you signed a contract, so you don't have to owe us. Man, listen, bro, they chased me down for that money 15 years later. 15 years later, they was like, I had got my money together. I forgot about it. I pulled up my credit report. I was like, hey, man, this is still sitting here. 3 days later, they was garnishing my check. They was like, hey, man, let me holler at you, pimp. This one didn't fall off. We renewed it, and we want that money. We got to get that bread, bro. We got to get that bread. This is the law firm of XYZ on behalf of Ford Credit, and we need that money. We don't care if you almost lost your life. We don't care if we ran from a bullet. We don't care about none of that stuff. I need my money, and I need it now. They need their money, and they need it now. Now, thankfully, I was in a much better position where it didn't affect me because I wasn't even using it. Didn't care. But they wanted their money, and they tacked on interest. And so I had to pay the interest. The interest was more than the amount that I owed for the car still. Then they tacked on some interest. So a lot of people, think about it. If a person is door dashing, right, that mean they hustling. It don't mean that everybody that's door dashing is down and out. It just mean that they getting that extra cash, or maybe they in between jobs, or maybe they this or whatever. But they hustling. They got stuff to pay off. They got things to do, people to see, moves to make, tuition to pay, kids to feed, whatever, right? And so it is really rich of a person to say, hey, man, just give up the car to a person that is stealing. The sentiment in America is changing. Everybody ain't going for it no more, and everybody don't feel like, well, you know what? You could just take my car, and it's okay because I still have my life. Some people like, man, F what you talking about, because this is all I got. I ain't got nothing else, and if I don't have this and I can't even make money, now I ain't got no car, now I ain't got no income, we'll skip it. We just going to go ahead and figure it out right now. And it ain't something that they thinking about long term. It's a instant reaction. Nah, not today, dog. Not today, dog. And so, you running up on the wrong person and you thinking, yeah, man, I'm about to just make it happen. You better be willing to shoot. I hope you a killer. And here's the other part of it. I hope you're willing to either do life or get your life taken. Because if it turned into a person that's going to go back and forth, or they got their own ooh-wop shebang, or they don't want to go, if you kill them, you going to jail for the rest of your life. If they kill you, you go in hell for the rest of eternity. So it's a lose-lose situation. So now they calling your bluff. Now they calling your bluff, and they say, listen, bro, you can't have my stuff. And everybody not going. Or they going to call the police afterwards, and they going to get you arrested. Because all of that non-snitch, no snitching is cool for people that's in the hood. That don't work for regular everyday citizens that's trying to feed their family. So everybody not going. Everybody not going. I say it just like Marlo said it. When old Mark went and got the ring from him, wear it in good health. Take the car. Take the Tesla. Take the keys to the Cybertruck in good health. God bless you. Wear it in good health. Drive it in good health. Everybody not going. Everybody not going, bro. And honestly, I understand it. I understand it. I don't know what there is no the only wrong in it, because there's no right and wrong from the person that is getting carjacked. The only wrong is coming on behalf of the person that's carjacking. So it's really just a matter of how we gonna play this.
But the delivery driver did not give in, and police say that's where things took a turn.
The robbery victim had a gun under his seat, was able to reach for that gun, retrieve it. As he was getting out of the car, it appears the suspect may have seen his gun. The delivery driver was shot one time in the leg. He then opened fire on the robbery suspect, fatally wounding him.
One man was just around the corner when the whole thing went down.
I heard gunshots, a bunch of them.
Now, that man was actually up on that hill when he heard what he thought were firecrackers. That caught his attention. He told me he
You're real brave to rob people in broad daylight and think that ain't nothing gonna happen to you.
immediately ran down the hill and found who we now know was that DoorDash driver, screaming for help with that gunshot wound to his leg.
That man also happened to notice another car speed off from the scene around the time of the incident, but police say it's too early in the investigation to determine if anyone else was involved.
Do you believe that those were the only two individuals involved in this incident?
That remains to be seen. These were the only two who were involved in the immediate confrontation.
We also asked police if the DoorDash driver is facing any charges from the incident. They said this is still an open investigation, but from the interview with the DoorDash driver and surveillance video, they believe they have a pretty good idea on what took place. In Berry Hill, Sarah.
Just say no. Just say no. But it's a lot of people walking around desperate out here, and everybody not going, bro.
So Alfonso Talley refused to answer any of the judge's question, and he didn't even want to say his name when the judge was asking him that question.
What did I tell y'all that his name was yesterday? Now we're getting, this is from the police officer that was killed. This is so it wasn't alleged, it was actually true. So this is from the police officer that was killed the other day by the man that was being taken to Swedish Hospital in Chicago. Yesterday, I was talking about it, right? This is, what did I tell you that his name was? The media knew this a long time ago. The media had already knew this, but they was holding up the information about this guy specifically. And so I had to tell y'all what was going on. So then it means that my sources is accurate, right? You can trust Tom Dog to give you the right information.
We also
You
found
may
out
not agree with me on all of my talking points, but you can trust me that I'm using useful information and not rumors.
that his own lawyer wasn't able to speak with him prior to court, so that's why this case is now continued for this week on Thursday. But we have some new video in from one of our viewers that shows Chicago police officers arresting Talley on Saturday. That was around Lincoln Square. And we found out today in court, Talley and someone else.
What did I tell y'all where did I tell y'all he was hiding? In the neighborhood, bushes, porch, right? What did I tell y'all that he was hiding? Listen, man. Listen. Y'all gonna learn to listen to me. Y'all gonna learn to listen to me.
Was around Lincoln Square, and we found out today in court Talley and someone else is accused of going to a Family Dollar that Saturday morning, and Talley is accused of pistol whipping a 55-year-old female employee, stealing her money.
I am so deadly accurate. I am so deadly accurate. I'm so good. I'm so good. I got the best sources. Shout out to the mayor's office. Shout out to the police department. Shout out to the news agencies. Shout out to everybody over in Chicago. Shout out to everybody over in Chicago. Then he got arrested, said that he had swallowed some drugs, took him to the hospital, Swedish hospital. I told y'all this whole thing yesterday. Took him to Swedish hospital, and this is where the incident went down.
In Keys, but we found out in court that the money had GPS on it. Officers found it and arrested him. Now, they also said he allegedly told officers he swallowed some drugs, which ended up bringing them to Swedish hospital. And they said in court today that it was somewhere in the CT room where an officer uncuffed him. Talley was naked but had a blanket covering him, and then pulled out a gun and shot both Officer Bartholomew in the head and then the other officer in the face, who is now in critical condition in the hospital. We heard from so many people saying that he's fighting for his life. And many elected officials were here and the Chicago FOP during this hearing. And not only do they say that this tragedy could have been avoided, but they criticized judges today, as they put it, for allowing violent offenders to be released.
Without pressure from the media, nothing changes. It just doesn't. They literally go hide in a corner and continue on with their nonsense of.
Which is exactly what I was talking about as far as the Louisiana governor saying this about judges the other day, and why Brandon Johnson and J.B. Pritzker, who was also people that were advocates of the Safety Act, to release these violent criminals that's killing cops back on the street. And until we bring more visibility to it and until we continue to talk about it, what's going to happen? Nothing.
Trying to let criminals out on the street any way, shape, or form they can and excuse bad behavior. It needs to stop.
Ask these officers to go back on the street and keep fighting crime when the judges keep letting them out. And they have to show up to every situation thinking it's going to be their last.
I'm so ahead of the curve.
This is it should end right now.
You can see how many people were emotional about this. So Talley is actually going to be back in court tomorrow. This is for a separate case where he's accused of violating the conditions of his release. There was a lot of criticism over electronic monitoring, which Talley was under at this one point. So certainly this is a case that we're going to be following, including tomorrow here in court.
Don't worry about it. I'll be all over it way before they ever release it to you. Let me share with you what I said yesterday. I want to make sure that we're all on the same page here, guys. What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I got to have a conversation. Y'all don't want to have a real talk. Okay.
When I went to the audio, it was actually you.
To say
the continual
that's to right. You may see filter through. Of course, you're not
one of our
media. They're keeping his name from the media, but his name is Alfonso. Allegedly, let me cover myself here. Allegedly, his name is Alfonso Talley. Alfonso Talley. All right. Now, the reason why I'm being told that they're keeping his name from the media is because he's related to one of the deputy chiefs in Chicago, whose name allegedly, all of this is alleged, all right, whose name just so happened to be Yolanda Talley. Yolanda, trying to be a little bit careful because I trust. Yolanda doesn't want Alfonso to be that is being poured out to the media. And that's why when you see them come up here and they say there's still an investigation, so be careful. I'm gonna fast forward it. Allegedly has a long history with her family member. Deep down, they're trying to conceal her name. Can only go as far to see it filter through. Of course, you're not gonna see. Don't see anybody monetizing your part of the good old boys club.
I'm all.
Why?
For early childhood.
Oh, hold on, let me back. Somebody loses their life, and in this, y'all dig into it because they have an agenda in it. But at the same time, right? You may see it's true. I'm not saying that it's 100% true. I'm that is around me that is giving me insight and want cop killer information that in their contacts and their limitful investigation. Long hard for you to keep that under tally. Alfonso Tally, that they're keeping his name, whose name just so happened information of each other, and so they continue to monetize the channel 100%. The media and Johnson were absolutely tired. They exhausted. They don't want to. We'll get there. We'll get there. For those of you that were a part of the show yesterday, you get it. You understand that it's no need for us to continue to beat a dead horse. But you guys here on the Millionaire Morning Show, you knew all of this information yesterday. Y'all knew all of this story yesterday. This is all old news to y'all. All we doing is confirming what we already know. So Alfonso, just like I said, whooped on a lady, robbed, said that he swallowed some crack, got took to the hospital. Then he pulled out a gun and he shot one of them in the head and he put another one in critical condition. And then one of them actually died from their injuries. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I am good. High Tolerance says, salute AD and the bag chasers and the clouds, but this Vlad situation is a prime example of what happens when you ain't got no motion. These cats is washed. He's not getting A-list guests on his platform. I don't know. I don't know. I know nothing. I know nothing. I want to head over to man, it was a let me look at this one more thing. I just want to dig into this really quickly.
A 10-year-old boy is now behind bars and charged with murder for the stabbing death of a 13-year-old girl. This is a disturbing story we first brought you in early February.
Investigators say they arrested the 10-year-old yesterday in North Carolina. Officers have now identified the young victim as 13-year-old Riley DeArmas. ABC 13's Brianna Willis joining us now live after speaking with her mother this afternoon. Brianna?
Hey there, yeah, and her mother tells me that she and Riley were actually just best friends. So as you guys can imagine, the last 2 months have been.
I like her. That's my type right there. I know he's talking about kids killing kids. That's my type. That's my type. I like her. Brianna Willis, huh? Brianna, what city this in? Let me see something. Houston, huh? She got her nails done. Not a fan of the eyelashes. I like them chocolate. I like them chocolate. I don't know. I mean, I just think that women are some of the most beautiful creatures. It's my squirrel moment. I can't help myself. Brianna Willis. Shout out to the internet. The internet makes it so easy. Internet makes it so easy. Brianna Willis. She's cute. She's really cute.
As a human who is now to speak to your family if anything is going on. Of course, if you've seen the suspect in this case, you're asked to contact.
Oh yeah. That's it right there. Dope. Absolutely gorgeous. All right. I ain't tripping off of this. I'm talking about this story. I want to talk about this whole story thing right here that's going on. Where was we at? Where was we at? Oh yeah. Got you.
Difficult for her, but right now she also is carrying a piece of Riley with her wherever she goes, and she also tells me this arrest is very bittersweet for her.
I'm very satisfied with the arrest made today. It puts my mind at ease.
But Ashley DeArmas says nothing will bring her only daughter, Riley DeArmas, back. Houston police say
Somebody said, AD, I promise you she ain't got nothing on Jade Fleury from Fox 26. Is this also Houston? Jade, hold on, let me see how many followers this chick got. Brianna has Jade Fleury Fox 26. All right, hold on, let me see something. She kind of looked like Joy Taylor. She just built better. I need to sign in. Yeah, she bad. But let me tell you what the difference is. Let me tell you, you see how Jade has 54,000 followers? Brianna Willis. show y'all something. And Brianna got 42. And Brianna is following 1,100 people, and Jade is following 1,900 people. You know what I'm saying, Shad? We ain't gonna talk about it. We're not gonna talk about it. Anyways, we done with that. We got to move on to the next part of the show. That's not what we wanted to talk about in the first place. We wasn't on that. We wasn't on that. We was on soul or something completely different. We wasn't on that. So let me get over to this Mamdani.
After using Citadel's Ken Griffin as an example of the type of person the city might want to hit with a wealth tax, Citadel fired back at the mayor, suggesting he could shelve a project in Midtown Manhattan. We've talked about it now. Joining us to discuss with the possible impact of Mayor Mamdani's plans, former White House Chief of Staff Bill Daley, who knows a thing or two about when Ken Griffin says one thing, what happens, because you know Chicago so well. Bill, what did you make of the way the mayor approached this? And what do you think the real implications are?
Well, look at it. There's no doubt the mayor ran on a platform that he was going to tax the wealthy, tax businesses, be very aggressive about that. Forgetting the fact of whether or not the tax is the right thing and it raises $500 million. The challenge for any mayor, and especially this mayor right now, is to live up to the promises of his campaign, but at the same time, maintain within a city like New York the business community to be involved to help solve the problems. Ken Griffin obviously creates jobs. He's extremely charitable in all the cities he's involved in. I may or may not agree with his politics all the way across the board, but to pick on Ken Griffin, who's a job creator, when you have so many other people similarly situated in that they own apartments in New York and they don't live there and they don't contribute there, I think it's a mistake for a Democratic mayor. But he ran on a tax. I'm going to tax everybody, tax the wealthy. So he's living up to that. And
So let me give y'all an update on what they're talking about. All right, because some of y'all may not necessarily be familiar. But Zoran, don't mess with the Zoran. Zoran Mamdani basically went and filmed a video in front of Ken Griffin's apartment. Ken Griffin is a billionaire that also invests billions of dollars inside of New York, Florida, and other places. And he's also over Citadel. Citadel is an investment company. And so let me bring y'all up to speed. I'm going to play y'all the video and how it's going to play out. I'm going to give y'all my opinion.
Properties worth more than $5 million. When I ran for mayor, I said I was going to tax the rich. Well, today, we're taxing the rich. I'm thrilled to announce we've secured a pied-à-terre tax, the first in New York's history. This is an annual fee on luxury properties worth more than $5 million, whose owners do not live full-time in the city. Like for this penthouse, which hedge fund CEO Ken Griffin bought for $238 million. This pied-à-terre tax is specifically designed for the richest of the rich, those who store their wealth in New York City real estate, but who don't actually live there. But even so, they're able to reap the huge financial rewards of owning property in, dare I say, the greatest city in the world. And most of the time, these units are sitting empty, since again, they don't actually live here. This is a fundamentally unfair system that hurts working New Yorkers. Now, it's coming to an end. This tax will raise at least $500 million directly for the city. It'll help fund things like free childcare, cleaner streets, and safer neighborhoods. As mayor, I believe everyone has a role to play in contributing to our city, and some a little bit more than others. Happy Tax Day, New York.
So he targets and does a whole video, and this is the mayor of New York. Now, the people are going to salute it, and they're going to highlight it. And the real life PJ says, how is it unfair? Okay, well, let's talk about it. New York. So they're paying over $1 to $2 million every single year in property taxes alone, minimally. And then they're trying to do an additional tax, a one-time mansion tax, and a proposed additional tax at adding further fees on a home. So I can, and let me break this down. Somebody said, how was it unfair? All right, so let me break this down. I can buy a property. Property taxes are already unfair. I believe that property taxes, personally, this is my personal belief. I don't believe that you should own a home and then have to pay annual increasing property taxes based off of how much the city want to fleece you. That means you never own the home. You're still a renter. So if you're just looking at it just objectively across the board, owning a home and having to pay rent on it to the county and to the city is bad in itself. Just objectively. Remove the billionaire, millionaire, and all of this other stuff. You will never, ever truly own your home. And if you don't pay your property taxes, they'll be able to take it from you, regardless of how fast you paid off the mortgage, regardless of how long it's been in your family. It's a finesse in itself. Property taxes in itself, in my opinion, is a finesse. New York property taxes and Los Angeles property taxes happen to be the highest in the nation. So you have to pay a tax just for being a property owner in New York. Then, because they say, well, listen, you've been really successful in business, we have to figure out a way, because they didn't just do it indiscriminately like Thanos, right? They said, we have to figure out a way to raise more money. Who is it can we get money? Let's target these people and let's figure out how it is that we can tax them even more. It's a finesse. It's a finesse. And so now you have a public official who is being paid by taxpayers now targeting and doing videos in front of somebody else's place, and it doesn't matter. Listen, I can have 10 homes all around Michigan. I can have one in Traverse City. I can have one in Detroit. I can have one in West Bloomfield. I can have one in Southfield. I can have one in Birmingham. I can have one here. I can have one there. I can have one in Royal Oak. I can have three more in Detroit. I can have a penthouse and I can have a regular house, right? I can have as many as I want, as long as I pay for them. I didn't know that we truly were in a socialist state to where I am now being penalized for pouring money into the system that is already crooked and paying additional property taxes on homes that I own. It's crazy. It is insane. So billionaires and millionaires already pay the majority of the taxes in every single state and the federal government. They pay more than half of all of the taxes. And now you want to charge me more because that's what you sold to people, that you would take my money and take my wealth? You don't think that that's crazy? Anybody that don't think that this is crazy objectively, the only reason that they're able to get this off is because it's easy to villainize somebody that is successful when you're not. When you're not. And guess what happens when they promise to bake this into the budget and then he fight it or somebody else fights it or they decide that they want to leave? Guess what happens? You get stuck with the bill. Y'all ain't learned this in Chicago yet? Y'all ain't learned this in Chicago yet? Huh? What, you think that they just gonna take this land down? You think that Mamdani is smarter than a person that is a billionaire? You don't think that they know how to move this around and make this play, make this work? You think that they ain't got an army of lawyers and accountants that's out here and he's targeting these people? Why would you want to make an enemy of people that's paying the majority of the taxes in your city? Because the people that I know that got resources, they spend money out of spite. Oh, yeah? Okay. I see you. Hey, let me call my lawyers and go and make it do what it do. This is why I keep telling people that y'all got to get some money. Y'all got to get some money. More money, more problems, but you need to go get you some money. And the reason that you need to go get you some money is because you don't know what fighting looks like. Y'all so busy fighting with these and getting mad at somebody and fighting, shooting pow and all of this other stuff. Y'all don't really know what fighting looks. Fighting has evolved. You know what fighting looks like? Fighting is a money play. That's what fighting is. Is who got the biggest bag that can also make sure that they hire the biggest bags to go and get the biggest bag. Piss me off. Say something crazy. Jump out of pocket. Sell a t-shirt. But anyway, so he's deciding that he wants to go to war, right? But a lot of people in New York are leaving as a result of it. It's been a huge exodus in New York.
Of growth. A study by the Citizens Budget Commission shows more people moved out of New York City than moved in 2025. That's according across all income levels. Okay, so take a look. Before any of this year's proposals on tax changes, the drop is mainly attributed to a 70% drop in international migration. Our Angela Bavaro hitting the streets to ask you to pop off about why you would leave or stay in the city.
They got to stop with this music. I don't know who the producers are of these videos. I don't know what they doing. These horns. Come on, man. Y'all got to stop with this, bro. 2 years ago, growth from 23 to 24. You know what I remember about New York? I remember New York. I remember during the pandemic that they were lowering, and this was just a few years ago, they were actually trying to give incentives. They were telling New Yorkers, if you get an apartment here, because everybody was leaving New York and nobody was renting anything, and they told you New Yorkers, they said, if you get an apartment here, we'll give you 6 months rent free. 6 months rent free. They was offering deals to New Yorkers. They were offering deals to New Yorkers because it was hard to find people to rent out the properties. Like 5 years ago.
If you are looking for a home in the Big Apple, now may be the best time in years. The latest reports from the firm Miller Samuel show rents in Manhattan have plunged and fewer people are signing on to buy homes. Here to talk about it is Jonathan Miller, President and CEO of Miller Samuel. Jonathan, good to see you again. I want to start first with people who are looking to rent. So it looks like landlords are sort of ramping up incentives to get people in the door. Is this because this pandemic has essentially stopped people from moving?
Well, that's absolutely true. What we've seen is in the beginning of March, April, we saw a tremendous outbound migration. About over 400,000 people left Manhattan, 40% of the occupants essentially, and they became first-time buyers.
So rents absolutely plunged. It was a free-for-all. Landlords was begging. They was like, yo, we'll put anybody in here. We'll offer 6 months free. I seen one deal one time where they was saying up to 9 months free rent if you signed a 2-year lease. People were getting it at little to nothing, locking in prices and all of this other stuff, right? Vacancies was skyrocketing, all of that. I remember. I remember because I was covering it. I was covering it right here on the Millionaire Morning Show, and we were having a conversation about rent. Now, New Yorkers are losing people because the rent is too high, and they want to tax you, and they don't like what all of this is happening with migration. Net loss of 100,000 people in New York in 2025. That's a lot of tax base. A net loss of 114,000 people in New York in 2025. And it's going to get worse. The longer that Mamdani is in office, the worse it's going to get.
You would leave or stay in the city.
Why do you think people are leaving the city?
It's become pretty unaffordable, unfortunately. It's super expensive to get a cup of coffee, and rents are obviously pretty high here.
You live in the city?
No, I live outside the city for just that reason.
It's too expensive. I mean, I got a decent job. I can't afford to live here. I got to come commute in every day. I can't imagine who can live here.
With the prices and the inflation that's going on in the city.
Taxes and price of everything else, real estate. It's very dirty. I have a lot of friends that still live in Brooklyn. And as you go by Brooklyn, they used to make fun of the Italians, how we used to clean the streets, the sidewalks. I can show you videos like how everything is just full of dirt.
It's very expensive out here, and also it's very crowded.
It's a great city to work in. It's a great place to socialize, but actually living here, it's, you really need to make quite a bit of money.
You live in the city?
I used to live in the city. Now I'm in Jersey. Moved out.
So I don't know anybody who lives in Manhattan or, the Bronx, Queens. They all come from Jersey, Long Island, Staten Island.
What do you think the city needs to do to get people to come back?
Build. I mean, Mamdani's talking about it. That's all he can do.
We're doing some work around trying to make childcare more affordable for some of the families and take on childcare.
It feels like there's no more middle class. It feels like there's either poor or rich.
Have you thought
I've been telling y'all that for years.
about leaving?
Sometimes, but I'm like, I like to embrace it. Like, I feel like if I was placed somewhere else, I wouldn't like it, more because I'm a city person. If I went to, I've been in Georgia too, see family. It's cool, but it doesn't feel the same as me being here. Friends, family.
I told y'all a long time ago that there was no more middle class, and people fought me on it. And they said, Anton, you're wrong. That's not true. And I said, the middle class is going away. And I said, all right, we'll skip it. I'm not going to tell y'all no more. I'm going to just talk to my chasers about it. And so I would go on the live streams on Patreon, and I would say, hey, listen, guys, the middle class is going away. 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 It's going to be a bigger gap, and you're going to have to make a decision of whether you want to be rich or you want to be poor. And if you're going to get rich, then you're going to have to make the sacrifices, and you're going to have to stay down for an extended period of time so that you can live your life the way that you want to. And they said, Anton, you're right. And the people on the internet said, Anton, you're wrong. But the bag chaser said, Anton, we need to lock in. And I said, y'all need to lock in right now. I said, you need to make X amount of dollars per year, and you need to keep your spending lower than where you got it at right now. And people sat there and told me, no, you crazy. You crazy. I said, it ain't no middle class. I said, it's an illusion of middle class. If y'all think that Mamdani is going to be the solution to give you what you need in New York to be successful, you are a fool. I'm gonna make predictions. I'm gonna keep making predictions to bring y'all up to speed on what's going on. You're a fool. If you think that he's going to save you, you are a fool. You're a fool. And so people are leaving New York, except for the ones that continue to suffer. People are leaving Los Angeles, except for the people that want to continue to suffer. There will be no middle class, bro. There will be no middle class. Everything is going to be reset in culture, in life, but it's going to happen so gradually, but then it's going to be transformation. It's not going to be a big bang. It's going to just, you're going to wake up and you're going to say, man, life is so much different than it was 5 years ago. And you're not going to realize how different it is until you see your videos or you see yourself from 5 years ago. Then you're going to say, wow, everything changed. Anton was absolutely right. Everything is going to get reset. And what does reset look like? I believe that women are going to go back into the homes. You remember when I told y'all to make $250K? Women are going to go back into the homes because they tired, boss. They tired. AI is going to push women back into the homes, right? I think that I'm going to hold off on that. Yeah, man, that's Mamdani in New York. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. But let's go up to Canada really quickly because Canada wants y'all, though. Y'all want to go to Canada? Who wants to move? Who wants to move to cold Canada? Up there with Drake. Bob Brown says, yo, AD, I was at an event in Philly yesterday when Chicago Flips Red rocking my bag chaser hat. Danielle and the rest of the crew told me to tell you hello. What up, though, Danny? What up to the rest of the crew out there in the streets? Yeah. Those are my homegirls. I think I'm gonna be in Chicago. I gotta come back from Brazil. And then I'm gonna be heading over to Chicago to go and link up with the people. Yeah, Todd Dog is going to Chicago. Todd Dog is going to Chicago. I know y'all didn't think I was going to Chicago, but Todd Dog is gonna pull up in Chicago. Pulling up in Chicago like the president. Don't tell nobody though. Don't tell nobody that I'm pulling up in Chicago like the president. Mr. Lott says low followers and low following equal better odds. AD knows ball. I don't know what you're talking about. Shakur Nash, all of them respond to me, so it don't make no difference. Shakur Nash says, oh my God, you're Anton from AntonDaniels.com. Oh my God. But then they try to play it cool, but you know they know who you are. I seen your stuff before. And then you got to play it cool too. You say, nah, you don't want to watch my stuff. Why not? And then they act like that they're not going to watch your stuff no more. And they say, and then they act like they're not going to watch and they say, if you don't want me to watch it, I'm not going to watch it. But I think it's cool. I think it's entertaining. Like, what you know about me? I mean, I just see the stuff that you talk about on the Millionaire Morning Show. And then you say, nah, man, I don't care about that stuff, man. I just look at myself as a I just look at myself as a regular guy, man. Nah, I ain't even tripping off and on to that, man. You see, I'm about to go out here and catch the bus right now. You know what I'm saying? But I know you got a car. I was watching the show and you said, nah, that ain't for me. You know, I'm buying that for my kid, man, because my kid like to drive the cars. I ain't even tripping about it. You know what I'm saying? So what's up? What y'all got up? What y'all doing? I mean, I ain't doing nothing. I ain't got no plans. Yeah, but I mean, you saying that to me, but who else you done told that to? You know what I mean? And I don't want to know. 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 Boy, you crazy. I don't be doing nothing. I be in the house all the time. I'm a homebody for real. Homebody what? Who's home? No, for real. I'm a homebody. I just got out of a relationship. And you know, I'm just trying to get my mental health together. I got to get my money right. You know, I'll be on my hustle. I see you working, doing your thing. All right, cool. Well, listen, just let me know. I mean, I'm gonna be in the crib, slow motion. I got a live stream tonight, but I'll be around. All right. I mean, you ain't gonna trip if I hit you immediately, are you? Nah. I mean, I don't believe in all of that internet stuff. That's just internet talk. You know what I'm saying? In real life, we touch grass. Yeah, I know. You said that the other day. I know. I feel you, baby girl. Anyways, let's get back into the show. Shout out to my dog, Chris Cunningham says, Ken, just have to move someone in that. That's all. Yeah, I heard about that. I heard somebody like that. Big QN says, NYC will make you take 10 steps back every time. Oh, man. I know I'm a homebody. That's what they all say. Y'all got to come up with a new line that y'all lie about. Y'all got to come up with a new line that y'all lie about. I'm a homebody for real. What do you mean you're a homebody? I met this girl the other day. She told me that she was a real estate agent. I said, word? But I really was. I was like, yo, I want to get some money. You know what I'm saying? Let's figure out where the money at. Wait, did I call the right number? Hold on. I don't know if I called the right number. Might have called the wrong M. Oh man. See, look at Azriel lying to us. I'm a homebody for real. I don't be doing nothing. I'm a homebody for real.
For dual Canadian. Millions more Americans might qualify for dual Canadian citizenship under a recent change to Canada's requirements. And this is prompting immigration lawyers on both sides of the border to report a surge in applications. So I want to bring in CBC News reporter Mark Carcassol. Mark, great to be with you. Can you explain this new law and how it works?
Yeah, Liz, so essentially this came into effect on December 15th, just the end of last year. And what it does is it's a pretty significant change from what we had in place before. Previously, parents could only pass citizenship down one generation to their kids. This new law passed by the government before the end of last year has opened up citizenship to anyone who can prove essentially that they have Canadian ancestry in your bloodline. It doesn't have to be your parents. It could go back to your great-grandparents or even further back than that. The catch is that you just have to prove it. Individuals born outside of Canada before this law was passed, December 15th, 2025, must show that they have a Canadian parent or some sort of ancestor who became a Canadian citizen.
Hold on. That's a lot of requirements.
Even further back than your last year has opened generation to their kids. This had in place before. Previously, parents could only pass citizenship down one generation to their kids. This new law passed by the government before the end of last year has opened up citizenship to anyone who can prove essentially that they have Canadian ancestry in your bloodline. It doesn't have to be your parents. It could go back to your great-grandparents or even further back than that. The catch is that you just have to prove it. Individuals born outside of Canada before this law was passed, December 15th, 2025, must show that they have a Canadian parent or some sort of ancestor who became a Canadian citizen on or after January 1st, 1947, or specific to the province of Newfoundland and Labrador, which joined Canada in April 1st, 1949. You can utilize that date as well. As you mentioned, this opens up the window to several potential American people to move over. Now, I've seen online a lot of talk. It's mostly done in the context of celebrities. There's been a lot of talk that perhaps Beyonce, because she has some relatives way back, could automatically become Canadian, or Timothy Chalamet or Madonna. That's not the case at all. There are very strict guidelines to that. Some applicants may have to trace their bloodlines back
Good luck,
several
Kay.
generations to prove that they would qualify. You have to provide documents to prove that your ancestor was Canadian within the specific guidelines, and that you are directly related through each generation. But as you mentioned, immigration lawyers are already finding themselves swamped with applications on both sides of the border. People who are actually maybe just curious about it, or people who are actually serious about it. So for anyone interested, I'll give you the details here. The fee for just proof of citizenship application is $75 Canadian. That comes out to about just under $55 American when you do the transfer. Hiring a lawyer, though, or a genealogist or some other expert that might help you trace through the generations, that could cost you thousands. So it could get expensive. The website for the federal government says the process takes around 10 months, and there are about 56,000 people plus who are currently in the queue awaiting a decision. So,
yeah, most of the people that I would think that will move to Canada are super liberals. That's really what it comes down to. They super liberals, meaning that I don't see anybody that is a true I love American, conservative, Republican, whatever. Nobody that is a patriot is looking to move over to Canada. Nobody is interested in being taxed more. Nobody is interested in going over there where they promote that they have universal health care, but in reality, they don't have any preventative health care. It's only applicable if you go to the hospital. And, you know, it's hard to find a doctor. When you do go into emergency, you basically going to be sitting there all day and all night, because a lot of people also use the emergency services as preventative care because they can't find any doctors and there is nobody that is helping them in the preventative care field, right? It's very, very difficult, and they taxes high. I don't even know why Drake would stay in Canada. Like, I know that he's like a Canadian native, Toronto native, and all of that stuff, but it's got to be just because of the love of the game or the fact that you just want to represent where you came from and all of that, because it's high in Canada. It is high in Canada. Yes, you will be waiting months, up to 60% taxes. That is correct. It is high, and they don't even have no jobs. Unemployment is skyrocketing in Canada. All they got is beer and hockey and Drake. Beer, hockey, Drake, OVOXO, and The Weeknd. I don't even think that Drake's permanent residence is Canadian. I think his permanent residence might be Houston. I can't say that for sure, but I think that Drake's permanent residence is in Houston, and he has his Canadian home as a second residence. Capital gains taxes is up to 50%. That's crazy. 66.7% above 250,000. Hecky no. You know, it's a lot of places. Like, I've been seeing a lot of content of people promoting Chinese culture, moving to Shenzhen, Shanghai, Beijing, all of this stuff, and the quality of life and the technological advances. And it is some very technologically savvy cities. But one thing that they don't say a lot of times is you don't have freedom. Because whenever you evaluate whether you want to be in a place or you don't want to be in a place, for me, it's all about freedom. Freedom to say what I want to say, freedom to earn as much as I want to earn without you taking a bigger chunk out of it, and the freedom to be able to do what you want to do on the internet. You are highly restricted. So if you're just a regular everyday citizen, maybe Canada or China or some of these other places may be for you. But when it comes to the laws and restrictions and all of that stuff, I just can't, bro. I can't. The pillar of what makes America great is our military and our freedoms. We have more freedom than any other country in the world. Any other country in the world. We can criticize our president. We can go on the internet like Candace Owens and do a whole live stream and say some negative stuff about the president. And you know what the president will do? Have a White House Correspondents' Dinner about freedom of speech. I can't, bro. I can't ever give up my freedom. That is a non-negotiable. Nothing, no quality of life, no socialism, no drones coming out of the sky to deliver food, no, oh my God, everybody is dancing in the park. No level of activity could ever I would rather be in the hood trying to figure out how to make a way out than to be in a socialist society with no freedom. But that's just me. That's my personality. It's a lot of liberals that are giving up on life. It's a lot of people that are saying that they burnt out. It's a lot of people complaining on the internet saying, oh my God, I can't find jobs and all of this stuff. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't want to be in an oppressive, censored, super censored place. I can't do it, bro. I can't do it. Johnny K says, but Anton, all hoods are located in socialist cities, LOL. Socialism benefits from capitalism and, conservative states. Socialism stands on the backbone of capitalism. You can't tax somebody that has $238 million place unless he was a capitalist, and then you're a socialist that's looking to take away from the people that actually built it. Whenever you have, now I do think that there's some things that other countries do better. Not Canada in particular, and certainly not Mexico, but in China, I think that they use government funds more effectively than a lot of other countries. I visit these places and I see them and I interact with them and I go with the people and I dance with the people and all of this stuff. And I can't wait to get home. I can't wait to get home to my pothole roads that I can't stand the current governor, Gretchen Whitmer, for. I can't wait to get back to my dirty streets of New York. I can't wait to see all of the huzz down there in Miami with the BBLs. And I certainly can't wait to see all of the homelessness over in Los Angeles. You know why? Because I can talk about it as much as I want to, and I have the freedom to be able to move anywhere I want to inside of the country. Everybody trying to go to no Canada, unless you're a part of the LGBTQ community. Are you trying to go over to Canada? I might go over to Windsor today just to see what's happening. Hey, what's up, Windsor? I love to see my what do they call them? Some girl was saying, down here in Miami is super competitive. It's super competitive in Miami. That's because they all competing so that they won't be homeless. They all competing for somebody to subsidize their lifestyle. Somebody told me Meg Thee Stallion was asking for Klay Thompson to give her like $700,000 a month in maintenance fees or some crap like that. I said, nah, that can't be true. He'd go broke trying to keep up with her. He'd go broke trying to keep up with her. Is that who told me that? I don't believe that it's true, but somebody told me that. Is that true? We're going to talk about it on After Hours tonight. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notification. Real Life PJ says, AD, you might as well become an actor at this point. You said it was 30,000? Where are y'all getting this number from? 30, some people saying 40. Where are y'all getting this number from? Where y'all get this Meg Thee Stallion number from? Y'all don't believe in giving y'all girl an allowance? I'm going to ask y'all that on After Hours tonight. You seen 300,000? No, I haven't been. I have never been to Toronto before. Do y'all believe in giving your girl an allowance? Just a thought before we get into the next part of the show. Yo, what up? Chillin', what's the word? Look at Slimmy. Nah, I'm just on a live stream, but you're not on speakerphone. What's a lot? Just tell me what's happening. So you don't need me right away? Which houses? You said what?
Hilton.
All right, yeah, I'll call you right back after the live stream.
All right, bye.
Bye. Speaking of which, Slimmy, I'm gonna play this on a live stream tonight. Let me see what y'all talking about. Meg's upkeep is probably why Tori went for the tolls. Slimmy, you not giving no allowances? Y'all don't believe in giving your girl an allowance? Real like PJ say he give his girl an allowance. I allow her to stay in my house for free. Imagine a relationship. How you think people true relationship? I do give my wife so okay. All right, so we there. Keyword, your girl not. I'm not talking about a jump off. I'm talking about your girl. I don't want to work her full time, so yes, I giving her an allowance. Let me see. She can have what she wants, no allowance for an adult. Yes, or she can work in my company. My wife get whatever she wants if I got it. I believe in giving gifts, not just wasting my money though. But she make her own money too. I allow her to be my girl and benefit from me all the allowance she needs. Huh. Phoenix laughing at Slimmy. Slimmy ain't giving you no allowance. Let me see what else y'all talking about. $20 a day. $20 a day? Okay. Wife definitely got to be on the payroll. Definitely giving her an allowance. See, it's a lot of guys that's like, yo, I'm on an allowance. Meeting went well yesterday. I'll only do it because we're married. $4 a month. Nah, bro, I'm good. If I'm married, that's something different. No allowance, but we do got a budget. Can we talk freely? Yeah, we can talk freely. We 100% can talk freely. 100%. I do both. And my wife has her own money. She has access, so I don't have to give her an allowance. Yeah, we can speak our full minds. An allowance for what? Gives an allowance to get the hair and nails done. That's it. Wow. I must be a simp then. Oh man. I must be a simp then. Everybody in my house get an allowance. My daughter get an allowance. I must be a simp. Let me ask y'all a question. What should an 18-year-old's allowance be? And then I'm going to get into the next part of the show. What should an 18-year-old's allowance be? I'm not a simp. Leo girl. An 18-year-old. An 18-year-old's allowance. What should an 18-year-old's allowance be? Or should they get an allowance? Somebody said $100 a week. Another person said $100 a week, $75 a week, $3,000 a month. They can get a job, $50 a week, $100 a week. Son or daughter? Daughter. What should a daughter's allowance be? I say $30 a week, $1,200 a month. You put $200 a week on his Capital One card, $300 to $400 tops. Says $5. Nah, but for real, 18, you work or in school, I'd say $25 a week, $800. Really? This is y'all daughters. This is not a son. I'm talking about a daughter. A son is different, in my opinion. It's y'all daughters.
Telephone number 2.
This chick must be at the mall. Oh my gosh. Get her away from the mall. Get her away. What's reasonable, y'all?
Hello.
Get away from the stores. I'm on a live stream.
Yeah, I'm probably about to go shopping a little bit.
Get away from the stores. You just got out of school.
No, we gotta have to today.
Les, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
We having this debate tonight, but I'm asking this on a Millionaire Morning Show. What do you think is a reasonable amount for an 18-year-old girl to get as an allowance?
Like how long? Like how frequent?
Once a month.
1,000?
You think 1,000 is reasonable?
Yeah.
Why? Tell me why.
Because that's good enough to support everything, gas, and then hanging out with your friends. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but that's not what you tell me behind the scenes.
No, I think that's good.
So what's your problem then?
I mean, everybody got their own different stuff that they got going on. So, it's different for everybody. But, the average person, I feel like, yeah.
You think that's normal that somebody get $1,000 a week? I mean, a month?
I mean, yeah. Yeah. I think, right? No?
When did you start getting $1,000 a month? How old were you?
Probably I think maybe 15 or 16.
Oh, okay.
What?
Nah, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna expose you. You a finesser though.
Nah, never.
You a finesser.
Nah, never.
Because you get whatever your allowances are, and then you still spend on the card.
Nah, Cap.
I told you I'm gonna block them cards.
Nah, Cap. Cap, don't believe it.
And then you buy a bunch of stuff on the internet.
Nope, that's also not true.
Get away from the store.
All right, I'll talk to you later. I love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my God. You think you get an allowance, Nurse Steph? Yeah, she be chilling. Les is such a good kid. She's such a good, sweet spirit. She's a sweet spirited person. She's sweeter than her mother. As crazy as that sounds. She's like super happy all the time. She's super sweet all the time. She just genuinely got a good spirit. She's always smiling. She's always excited about life. I don't know how people can't. I don't know how people don't be in their kids' lives, bro. Anyways, speaking of which, one of the things that hit the internet that I wanted to discuss with you guys, we're gonna have to get to these meta layoffs. Maybe not. We'll shelf the Chinese EVs and the universal basic income for tomorrow. Something came out on CNBC that I thought would be interesting to share with you guys. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
Of all Americans say that they've been going on fewer dates due to the state of the economy. Nearly half of all single Americans think dating is not financially worth it. The average date in the U.S. costs $189 as of February 2026, which is up 12.5% from 2025.
Slimmy, I'm going to play this same graphic so you can get your talking points for tonight. The average date, it says, is $189. The average date in 2025 was $168, which is an increase of roughly 12.5%. So it's inflation on dating.
On top of that, 50% of Gen Z and 40% of millennials say the cost of dating gets in the way of reaching their financial goals.
Why would I spend $100 on someone I might not even vibe with?
So we're seeing that there's this increased cost of living, and it's lowering our dating frequency and how we're seeing or perceiving dating. We're seeing people have fewer dinners out, and there's a lower tolerance for higher risk meetups.
Many dating apps are struggling to maintain monthly active users. Wall Street has noticed the top 2 dating app stocks, Match Group and Bumble, have been on the decline since the end of the pandemic.
So I think it's not just dating, but in general, life becoming more expensive can be an important part of dating and people's ability to find romantic matches.
I think that fundamentally we are looking at broad structural changes that influence people's marriageability or dateability perceptions, both of themselves and of other individuals. And that makes them disinclined to enter into the dating market. For young men in particular, their economic prospects and dating prospects are very much linked and have never, frankly, been more grim.
So what happens when finding love takes more financial risk?
More financial risk because you're dating. This is insane.
Almost everything has gotten more expensive in the past 6 years, and dating's no exception. The typical Gen Z American went on about 9 dates in 2025. And with Gen Z spending about $205 per date on average, that number includes everything such as transportation, clothing, grooming, and what you're actually spending on the date. That works out to roughly $1,845 per year.
Gen Z now ranges from teenagers to people in their late 20s. So there isn't one clean government income figure for the whole generation.
But among full-time workers as of late 2024, median annual earnings were just under $40,000 for ages 16 to 24 and around $59,000 for ages 25 to 34. That means dating accounts for around 3 to nearly 5% of their annual income.
Are you guys willing to set aside 3 to 5% of your annual income in order to date? Now, I know that the rappers and all of these people have convinced y'all that you got to fly them out or you got to take them to Roof Chris, because you know what? I don't even care about the money. It's all about Roofie, Chrissy. Right? Somebody said y'all better take her on a picnic. Oh, okay. Well, then this question starts to beg itself. Ladies, if a guy on a first or second date say, yo, I want to take you on a picnic, do you look at that as him cheaping out, or do you look at that as him being thoughtful? I didn't know that dating was this expensive, honestly. I didn't. I didn't know that dating was this expensive. I think that y'all are spending way too much money on women and dating women. I do. I just genuinely do. I think y'all spending way too much money. And it ain't because it's the money. It's because it's the emphasis on you spending money. And so I look at it differently, right? I look at it like, listen, we're going to go out and we going to spend whatever we spend. But when I look on the internet, and that could be, we going to the show, we getting some popcorn, we about to watch The Devil Watch Prada 2. Oh man, I'm going to watch. That's my favorite movie too. Come through, man. We about to go watch The Devil's Wear Prada. I got you. I already picked up your ticket. So I look at it like we just having fun. Oh man, I already got your ticket, man. We got the tickets. I know. I want to sit right in the middle of the theater. I already paid for them online. Yo, you want something to eat? Yeah, they're gonna bring it to the seat or whatever. So it's just a fun activity. It's not something that you, hey man, this is what I'm only gonna spend this amount. So I look at it like this. It's just the vibes. It's just good energy. Let's have fun. This is what we doing today. Let's go to the movement festival. Let's go dancing. Let's go to this show, whatever it is. Let's just go have a good time. And there is no maximum or minimum, right? You're not going to look at it and say, well, this is how much you spent on a date. But when I look on the internet and I see y'all talking, do you know what I see? I see people putting a number on it, and women are like, "Oh, you have to spend this amount, or this is how much it's going to cost me to do my hair and all of this stuff." And I'm like, when did y'all start putting numbers on dating? When did y'all even start counting? Like, I didn't know that y'all did a dating budget. Somebody said, how was a movie date $100? I don't know. How much is movie tickets? $14 for the Dolby Atmos seats a piece, depending on what time you go. If you don't go in the daytime, that's $30. And then you get some food. You may spend $40 on food or whatever. Tops, that's $70. That's $70. Okay, $70 to $100. AD, long way says AD, it doesn't matter. I'm what you spend when you hop in a 911 or a Lamborghini or the Lincoln Navigator. They ride no matter where we go. That's a fact. That's true. I mean, you can take her to the, honestly, like, yo, let's go hang out and let's just look at the water on Belle Isle when I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? And then we might get something to eat. Because, they going to say, oh, I'm hungry. That's their way of saying, can you feed me? Right? So, like, it just depends. Sometimes you might spend a little bit extra money depending on if it's white tablecloths. And other times, man, honestly, we about to go get this Coney. Man, I got a taste for some Coney Island. You down? Yeah, I can get me a Cobb salad. I've never known for anybody that is in my inner circle sit there and say, man, dating is expensive, because everybody just do what they can do and they just have a good time. Everybody do what they can do and they just have a good time. Nobody is tripping because everybody is just naturally in the element that they would normally spend money is. The problem, this is what I think the problem is. The problem is people go outside of their norm to impress people who they don't normally talk to. And so they think that they're shooting outside of their zone. And that is what happens, bro. When people start to go and talk to other people that they wouldn't normally talk to, they create a higher expectation and they trying to impress them more than they normally would. And so what happens is you now starting to get your money, budget, all of this stuff, and you just need to be chilling. Oh, I got to impress her. I got to do this. I got to do that. Or you could just treat her like a regular person and she's going to be impressed regardless because the conversation is going to be dope. I like to, me and Slimmy got a similar mindset. It's an arcade over here. It's called the Barcade. They got some finger food and they got some old school games. Sometimes I just hit the Barcade. Or sometimes we hit the beer spot over there and it's just be fun. And you don't even really eat the food. You really just had drinks and you just be sitting at the bar having drinks. It ain't that deep. It really ain't. Sometimes, yep, CJ Barrymore is kind of fun. I like to go to, I do everything. I do everything. And then we might go to a different country too, on top of that. So I think that people putting too much stock in it. Oh my God, why would I spend $100 and I may not even like you? Well, if you hadn't been talking, if you get off these stupid dating apps, then you wouldn't be in this position in the first place. Get off the dating apps so where they having an expectation for what it is that you're supposed to do. Meet people organically, and that way you actually kicking it with them on the phone or whatever, and then you can figure out if you like them or not, and then y'all could go and hang out at the game or something like that. Go to the soccer game. You know how much the tickets are to go to the soccer game? They be cheap. They be like $10, and it's a ball. You go to the soccer game, them tickets be cheap, and they got food trucks out there, and the food trucks be having the best food. They got these mac and cheese balls that that junk be hitting. Go to the soccer game. You'll have a good time. Hockey games be fun, and they cheap. It's cheap to go to a hockey game, bro. Or go to a game where the team may not be as good that they plan. Stop trying to go to the Lakers game, when the Lakers is in town or when Golden State is in town. And go when the Wizards is in town. Guess what? She not going to know the difference because she don't know nothing about basketball. I'm not going to give y'all all of my life hacks. Go to the game where the Wizards are coming in town because guess what? That's going to be the cheapest game of the season. She don't know no difference. All she know is, oh, man, he took me to the game. Now, you go to the Lakers game, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg because you're trying to be in there with all of the rappers and stuff like that. No, go to the Wizards game. She don't know no difference. She don't know nothing about sports. All she know is that she's sitting at the game having to go, oh, my man, oh, my God, this nigga's a baller. Get some tickets from your homeboy. That's what they do to me. All my homies hit me up. Hey, Ty. Hey, let me get some. Hey, you guys, you got some tickets, bro? Like, I rib them a little bit. Nah, man. Man, you trying to take out some funky hoe. Come on, man. Come on, man. Let me get your parking pass, too. Next thing you know, they show up. Yeah, Because, I be at the game all the time. This is what they hit them with. This is what the guys hit them with. Yeah, man, I be at the game all the time, bro, because sometimes I'll let my dog Anton get my tickets, but other than that, I'll be at the game, man. You want to come and sit courtside and go, oh, my God, this nigga's a baller. So we look out for each other. They know I'm not going to that game, so hey, Tom, let me get them tickets, bro. I got this baddie coming in, bro. What's up, bro? So now they at the game. And guess what it costs him? Because all of the food is free inside of the Players Club, right? So you go inside of the Players Club. It's all VIP. She's seeing all of the big names and stuff. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. He got motion. He got motion. That's how my nephews hit me up all the time. Hey, Uncle Anton. Uncle Anton. Hey, Uncle Anton, let me get the tickets. Say, man, what little hoe you dealing with this time? But they different. They a little bit greener. So they say, she's not a hoe. She's my girl. But I just got how long you been talking to her? They fall in love easy. They fall in love overnight. Like 2 weeks. Like, bro, you just met her. What happened to the last girl that you took to the game? And so they in there. They don't spend no money. And they steal my cars. Let me get the Mercedes. I'm driving it. All right, well, let me get the Cybertruck. Okay. So y'all got to learn how to finesse the game. Leverage your friends. Leverage your homies. Leverage your network. Take her to places that she wouldn't normally go, that you wouldn't normally go. But you going to go and act like you've been there a lot because you got friends in high places, baby. Y'all got to learn how to play the game. Y'all not playing the game. You spending your own money instead of somebody else's money. You're doing it wrong. You're taking the wrong people out. You're trying to impress people that don't even need to be impressed. You're doing it wrong, buddy. Out here dating and spending all of this money for no reason.
When the cost of living rises, people date much more defensively. They're taking fewer chances and fewer connections are formed.
It's also going to take away from your mental budget, right? You're not going to be able
wait
to
a
pay
minute.
as much attention. You're probably
Wait
not.
a minute. What's going on here? Is this that new diversity, equity, inclusion thing that they got going on? Come on, bro. So wait a minute. Hold on. Onaka. Hold on. Goddess. I gotta ask a question, Goddess. Goddess, I have to ask the question. Here's my question. Coach Chris, here's my question. I gotta ask the question. Are y'all ready for my question? Here's my question. Are you spending the same amount of money to take, if you're a man and you're taking another man out, I got two-part question. If you're a man and you're taking another man out, who pays for the date? I don't think that that's an unreasonable question. If you're a man and you're taking another man out, Chris Cunningham. If you're a man and y'all gotta get to know each other. Who paying? I never thought about this because whenever I think about dating, I automatically by default think about men and women dating. I never think about men and men dating. And ladies, on the flip side, here's the other question. On the flip side, who paying because y'all used to getting treated? Who paying, ladies? Y'all said the bottom is paying. Yeah. Oh, man. Imagine having a, because you know how they say that guys always expect for girls to put out if they spend a certain amount of money. Imagine being a man and you got to put out. Ugh. Oh. Yo, nigga. Man, I pay for all the food. You said the stud pays. Okay, so who's the stud in the male relationship? Bro got invited to cocktails. Oh my God. I'm going to ask this to a liberal group. I'm going to go and find a live stream of some liberal people and I'm going to ask them this question because I need to know. This is so hilarious. Anyways, I got to go put a stop to my daughter's card so that she don't go spend too much money. I actually got to go and make a run from a business perspective. See, I'm making a sacrifice. I don't plan on missing no more live streams unless it's something big, like traveling or something like that. So I'm making a sacrifice. I had to make sure that I streamed with y'all because I couldn't miss. So anyways, let me read some of these super chats. Christopher Evans says, if we locked in for real, then yeah, I don't mind a little $25 to $50 here and there. I don't even want to know the type of allowance that I give. That's why I'm single, because I'm picky and I'm nice like that. Talk your talk, big dog. 392Q says, 80, how much would you give a son if you had one for an allowance? I'm not sure that I can. I'm not sure that I can. That's a really hard question because I think that men are supposed to suffer and figure it out. And so if you don't get those hard lessons early, I don't think that I don't think that I would give my son an allowance at all. I don't believe in allowance for sons. I believe in helping them out. So there's certain costs that he doesn't have to incur. I'll pay for you to go to college. Stuff like that. Your tuition is going to be paid, but if you want to eat, you're going to have to go and work and go get some money. Go get a work study job. Learn how to manage your finances effectively. These are the lessons that men have to learn because they have to be the leaders of their family in the future. These are the lessons, in my opinion, that men have to learn because they have to carry these into being the leader of their family. They got to go and get it. So yeah, I believe in paying for things that he shouldn't be focused on or distracted by, but it's certain other things that he got to do. You got to go and get your own car. I would definitely pay for your schooling and your education and your tuition. But I don't think that guys in any way, shape, or form should be treated like the girls. We got to stop thinking that it's all the same. It's not the same. It's not the same. Men need to be treated differently than women. Boys need to be treated differently than girls. And he needs to know what it's like to be broke. Ain't no discussion. He needs to know what it every man at some point in his life, whether early in life or later in life, have to know what it feels like to get it out the mud. Ain't no handouts. Now, you may have something that you need to, an inheritance or, once you reach a certain age, we're going to start giving you more responsibility and you're going to wind up being the one that take over the company business or whatever. But as far as the learned lessons, they have to learn lessons in controlled environments. They got to learn the lessons. If you treat them like girls, they will act like women. If you treat them like girls, they will act like women. Stop making your sons sassy. Make men masculine again. Make men masculine again. You got to stop treating your sons like suckers. Don't do it. Don't do it. I remember when I was coming up, my dad said, I'm not buying you a car, but I won't charge you rent. He said, I'm not buying your car. I had to go to work, save up, and go and get my own car, but he didn't charge me rent. He never put a date on when I had to move out the house. He never said you had to leave. He said you can stay here as long as you want, but I'm not buying you a car. You got to figure out whenever something would go wrong, he would give me all right, so this is what you got to do. You got to go up to AutoZone, ask them for this, ask them for this. That one up there, they'll actually let you use it, or go to Murray's. They'll let you use the tools in order to take it out. You got to ask them this, ask them that. Listen, ask them this, and they'll tell you it's the difference between the battery or it's the alternator. If it's the battery might just be dead. But if it's the alternator, then it's not going to be able to hold a charge. So even when you buy the new battery, then that means that your car is still going to go. So you had to learn this stuff, but you can't learn it unless you actually get in the tools, unless you actually up under the hood, if you're actually pulling off the dash, if you actually you got to learn how to change your tire. You got to do all of these things. And so if you don't take that responsibility, you are going to be a sucker when you get older, and you're going to be whining about what the government ain't doing for you because you never had somebody in your life to tell you go and get it on your own. Gotta go get it. Gotta go get it. I'm not buying you a car, but I'll let you can stay here, and you need to save your money. I remember, and this is the honest to God truth. We were riding down the street, and I had a job. I had a job like at one of the supplier plants or whatever. And I seen the car that I wound up buying, this car right here. Literally. I seen this car right here. I seen the car that I wound up buying, and this was literally the day that I bought it. I couldn't drive it because I didn't have no tags for it yet. I had to wait the next day to go to the Secretary of State. And We drove down the street and I seen a for sale sign in it. And I was like, oh man, because it was my favorite car of all time. And I said, oh man, can we swing back around? So we swung back around and we looked at it. And the price was whatever the price is. And I was short, like, it might have been like $500 I was short. And I was like, dog, I said, I got this amount saved, but I need like 500 more because we had talked to the owners, whatever. And so me and my dad had went to the side. I said, I need like $500. He was like, what that got to do with me? I was like, can I borrow $500? I'll pay you. He said, nope. Nope. And he said, I said, why not? And he said, because I seen you yesterday, and this was the honest to God truth. He said, I seen you yesterday go shopping. Because back then we had Northland. You can go up to Northland and you go to the mall and you go shopping. He said, I seen you buy all of those clothes and shoes that you spent at Northland yesterday. You spent a lot of your check on clothes. And I was like, I told the people, because it was still early, you know, it's still a daytime. I told the people, I said, I gave him the money. I gave him like a deposit. I gave him like $1,000 deposit. I went home. I went and gathered every piece of clothing that I bought, all the shoes, all the clothing, because I had just bought it yesterday. I went back up to Northland. I returned everything that I got, and I had like $530 that I had got back. I took the $500, pocketed the $30. I put the $30 in gas in the car. I took the $500 and I gave them the rest, and then I took my car home. That was one of the biggest lessons that I learned right then and there. That was one of the biggest lessons. I caught the bus to Northland to take everything back. I caught the Hamilton bus up to Northland, took all of them clothes back, got that $500, and I went and took them that money. And I had $30 to throw in the car for gas. I took every piece of clothing, every shoe back. I was okay, so I wasn't gonna be fresh, but I had a car though, and I couldn't even drive the car. I washed the car in the driveway, and I couldn't even drive it because I didn't have no tags on it. I drove it like around a block or something like that. Yo, I was like, yo, I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. Yes, I did. And so that's why I stand on what I say as far as you can't treat girls the same way that you treat guys. You can't treat them the same way. You got to teach them that they got to make their own way. They got to go hustle. They got to go get it. They got to go run it up. Whenever my car would break down, I would go up to Murray's or it wasn't AutoZone. It was Murray's back then. They changed it to O'Reilly or something. And I would just have to figure it out. I would go talk to the mechanic. I would go, because we didn't have the internet and AI the way that we had it now. And we just ran it up. Yep. And I had to work. I got some sounds in my car and I paid for that. The first upgrade is I got some Flowmasters. So I got an exhaust put on it and I got the dualies because that car had just a regular exhaust on it. It was really, really clean. I went and got some Flowmasters on it. I got some sounds. I went and got my radio, the pull-out radio. I had got the amps and stuff to it and all of that stuff. Man, I took a lot of pride in that car. I learned a lot about cars. That was my first foray into being interested in cars like that. And it just hit me with the bug. Yep. So it was good. It was good. Yeah, it's a Buick Regal. 1986 Buick Regal. I'll never forget it. I used to take pictures of it in the middle of the driveway, had the wife beater on. And see, you can see the house. A lot of people think I was capping about the house that I grew up in. No, it looked differently. It looked way different. You know what's so tripped out? Let me look at something really quickly before I get off this live stream. That's crazy. So let me show y'all something. This is what because this shows you that we actually took pride in our stuff. This is what the house looks like now. Look at what it looked like then. It had an awning. It had bushes right here. All of the siding was new. We took care of it. All of it, see, it's still the same siding at the top. It was clean. This was the house, and that's the house next door. So it's funny because a lot of people think that we be capping when they say, yo, I grew up in Detroit. This was the house that I grew up in. This is the house right here, and this is what it looked like right there. Crazy. Crazy. So you can see the front of the house right here. Look way different. It was beautiful. Grass was cut. The bushes was done. Everything was different, bro. So insane, bro. That's crazy. I don't got no other pictures of the front of the house, I don't think. Wow. Tripped out. Yep, this is another picture of the front of the house right here. Grass was lined up. We had flowers. Look, you can see the flowers. See the flowers and the bushes and stuff. Blinds was nice. It might be the same blinds in that house right there. Crazy. Tripped out. That's the place. That's the house right there. House look way different. Block look way different now. It's a totally different place, bro. That's crazy how everything changed. That's why it break your heart to see different places that you grow up in and stuff. And it just look completely different. They love tearing everything up, bro. Love destroying everything that you stood for and that you worked for. I used to cut the grass all the time. We worked day and night to make sure that everything was nice, bro. But somebody will tell you, no, Anton didn't grow up in the hood. He grew up somewhere else. Well, now you got more evidence. And my waves used to be killing Slimmies too on the low. Shout out to the wave god. You know what? I think I'm about to get me some waves back. Anyways, let me read some of these super chats. Had these hoes swimming. Had these hoes swimming in millennium. Remember the millennium. The wave god had these hoes in a chokehold. Oh my God, you making me seasick. Oh my God, you making me seasick. They say, Anton, nigga, I had all your hoes in high school. Nigga, your hoe was my hoe. That's ours. That's our chick. Somebody said AD going to Turkey like Jack Funny. Nigga, I don't go to Turkey, nigga. I go to America. I'm rich. Nigga, I don't have to take a low-cost flight. I don't have to. I'm going right up the street. I'm going to pay the premium. Going to no Turkey, nigga. I'm going to be right here recovering. KB the Hybrid says social media has caused inflation for dating. My wife and I can go to something for free at the park or do something inexpensive such as skating. We not eating at the cheese at the steakhouse every weekend. That's fair. I think that's fair. Women gonna dine and ditch. I believe that, Crimson. I believe that. Checking vids online says, what do you call a gay drive-by? A fruit roll? Oh my God. Just Christian Black, I appreciate you for the 10 ball and holding me down. All right, y'all. We're gonna have a phenomenal show tonight on After Hours. I know I'm behind on clips for the Millionaire Morning Show and After Hours, but something had to sacrifice while I'm taking care of all of this business. The clips will be coming soon enough. But in the meantime, we got to make sure that we're taking care of business. All right? After hours tonight. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Another great show in the books. I'm out.